ahead. Start. Hey, this is Ross Bain, Role-Playing Public Radio. We're playing Masks of Nyarlathotep. This is the second adventure of the Kenya chapter, because they're in Kenya and in the last session they went to Mombasa. And Mombasa. I had to say it too. They broke into a warehouse and successfully stealthed it. Good job.
Yay!
Stole a ledger and stole some money, petty cash. Well, actually more than petty cash.
Is a credit rating worth?
Yeah.
Didn't we immediately have to spend it, though?
Oh.
You did have to spend one credit rating to get on the nice train car. On the way over.
Okay.
And then in Nairobi, you tracked down a Mr. Singh, Thakur Singh, who turned out to be a cult leader. Who knew?
Killed the fuck out of him.
You did kill the fuck out of him. And he nearly killed the fuck out of all of you. With
Fire
his,
vampire.
Yes. Fire vampire. You all have nice first-degree burns. And some really... And all of you probably have a set of clothing you just need to get rid of so you aren't suspicious. Like, hey, there's a fire and a headless corpse was found. We should... Why did all your clothes smell like smoke and have burn marks on them?
Well, in our defense, most of the city wound up catching on fire afterwards.
Actually, no. They had a pretty good... several buildings were caught on fire, but they had good firefighting techniques there. They had buckets of sand everywhere.
Well, sort of just everywhere.
Yeah, and also you did kill the vampire or banish it pretty quickly, so it didn't. And it was more a focus on burning you rather than building. So
Weird.
Yeah, so it actually didn't catch too many things on fire. But you barely managed to avoid detection, and you escaped that. So you're all missing one set of clothes now. But you fortunately brought a couple extras, and you did give the head to Johnstone Kenyatta.
Whether or not he wanted it.
He had a compatriot.
Ed, Google.
Yes.
He had a compatriot taxidermy?
Well, take it away so the authorities wouldn't find it. But he said he would get you in contact with someone who could take you to Old Bandari, the mystic, who apparently knows quite a bit about what's going on vis-a-vis the Bloody Tongue and the Mountain of the Black Winds. So as we begin, you are waiting near the Kikiu Central Association, the KCA.
Kikuyu?
Let's see here. Kikuyu Central Association.
We couldn't get them to put us up for a little while so we could rest, could we?
That would be a favor. John Stone did not offer because he did not think you would, colonial times being what they were, why would,
But I'm an anti-imperialist.
Well, you can bring that up, and he can certainly...
raging anti-imperialist.
I'm American.
Well, yeah. Again, you can ask him, but you have not...
The premier anti-imperialist.
But he has... so you're waiting, and a younger man shows up, who introduces himself as Okomu. He says he... is an assistant to Old Bandari, and as he looks you over rather calmly, says, your actions are greatly appreciated. Mr. Singh was one part of the cancer that rots away in our city, but he is not the only tumor. There are others like him, and so
not a tumor.
Old Bandari would be glad to see you. However, he is very old and cannot travel. I would have to take you to him. And the other problem is he lives in the part of the city where people like you would stand out, shall we say?
Time to get our Jolson on.
Well,
You're not going to make us do blackface, or you're honest.
No,
Please don't make us do that.
No, that would stand out even more. Actually,
Cosplay.
yeah. There are two ways we could try to get you through that part of the city sight unseen and hope, because there are members of them. But given from what I have heard that you're willing to stand and fight, I had another plan, another idea, but I would not undertake this plan without your cooperation. That would be to travel boldly throughout the town to a certain warehouse and then wait to see who shows up.
Well, I vote no on that because we are totally spent.
So that is up to you. I will not use unwilling bait, but There are. What I do know, what
first.
Old Bandari has told me, is that there are not many of them left in this city at this time. Eventually, once they all go missing, if they all go missing, certainly more would come to replace them. But we could have the city safe for a while, at least. Especially if we could get rid of if we could draw them all in and get rid of them without anyone knowing about it.
So are you suggesting that we do that before we go visit Old
We cannot. You cannot. I cannot take you to see Old Bandar. I cannot risk
The rest of the world doesn't want to play a mythos
him
game.
being found out. They are not aware of him, as far as we know. But if they are certainly aware of you, and if I led you to him, and they found out about it, they would find out about him, and I could not allow that.
Would you let us attempt to disguise ourselves?
Well, the best way to get you to them without being seen would be to go at shortly before dawn, when almost everyone is asleep, and then to sneak through the town as quietly as possible. There's a route I can take over the roofs of some buildings, through alleys, and then with cloaks to just cover you. That would be the best way when the streets are the thinnest. And I believe you seem to have some expertise in this. I mean, how you got through the middle of town with that gift was certainly very impressive. It is your choice. I cannot just take you to him directly. It would be too much of a risk. You understand?
Of course. For the other option, the more helpful to your long-term situation option, how soon would we have to move?
It would be on your timetable. Of course, the longer you stay wherever you're staying, the more chance there is they're looking for you now. And I believe that there surely cannot be that many of them. So they have not struck again at you, have they?
No, certainly.
So it could be on your timetable, but the longer you wait, the longer it is they will find you and try to.
More likely it is they will find us.
Yeah. So. You could stay to the nicer parts of town. I believe that the cultists are probably not colonialists. I'm not sure though. So they would not be allowed in the nicer hotels.
I don't know. There might be a reason why the sun never sets on the British Empire.
So,
well, it certainly appeals to my sense of, I don't know, duty, pure bloody-minded suicidalness, I don't know what, to try to help you out. We're a bit tapped at the moment. I don't know if you fought many sentient balls of fire.
I do see the burn marks, yeah.
We could do with the rest.
Yeah.
I understand
And
that.
maybe a nice solve.
Perhaps things can be arranged to help you.
Because if you can provide us, say, 24 hours safety, we would be more than willing to...
A time to rest.
Yes.
And maybe some medical assistance for some of us. To patch these holes. Here, and here.
All right. Somebody if you make a spin of a persuade, Como could
Reassurance?
reassurance.
Done.
Yeah, I know that. But you are committing to the ambush then, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, we'll commit to it as long as we get a
If
break.
we're rested up,
Yeah. All right. He agrees to it. I will make preparations for the ambush site. I can have a few friends waiting to help you.
friends are good.
Yeah.
It's good to have friends.
But it has to be a good trap. We can't be too obvious about it, otherwise they might get skittish.
So we can't be too obvious about being obvious?
Yes.
Just, okay.
Just the right level. He's speaking English, by the way. And he has very educated British accent, which I will not attempt because I am not.
Thanks, Ross.
So he says there is one place you can go. There was a plantation on the edge of town, shortly outside the city, that failed, and it has reputation for being haunted. But I know that it is not. It is, and we have used it before.
Question: what were they trying to grow there?
Let's see. I don't know. Would they be trying tea? I don't know. Yeah, I actually don't know what the agricultural
just don't say coffee, because if it's
Okay.
coffee, we have to worry about sleeping sickness, because
Okay, it's not coffee.
nest underneath
All
coffee
right.
leaves. So
All right, not coffee.
Not coffee.
Sean, what would be a reasonable non-coffee thing for a Kenyan plantation to be growing in
Sisal.
1925? All right,
All right,
let's
yeah.
make some damn Baylor twine.
So
Isn't it pronounced Isaac? Yeah.
he. All right, so this will be one group stealth chest. You will get a +1 because Okomo is helping you to get out of town and go to the plantation without being detected.
I have a point left.
Okay.
No, I can put a point in too.
All right.
what's the skill
That's
set we
plus
need?
3.
Stealth.
I have zip.
All right.
No,
+3 total.
plus 3.
All right.
I think we're good.
9.
All right. You are the not the knight.
important
You
to say
are the
large
wagon
numbers
as
well.
you hide in a wagon.
We are the wagon of the night.
You are the wagon of the night. As you
my high school
cower
uniform.
underneath the blankets and are taken to a, and then there's you hear a rough voice, we're here, and you look up, you're in an abandoned plantation. There's no one around. You can see Nairobi in the distance.
Let's put on a show, crew.
Yeah, let's set things on fire. So yeah, you have a day. You can spend it resting, obviously, so you can get all your physical stuff back. They leave some medical supplies, which will give you a pool of 3 points, including some ointment for burn wounds and things of that nature. So that'll be a pool of 3 points of first aid that you can apply however you want.
Okay, so physical stuff is not firearms, right?
Firearms are precious.
Oh, okay.
Pull the trigger; it's still physical. When did you use
First
fire?
aid is not, though, right?
First aid is not. That is
Yeah.
mental.
What is preparedness and sense trouble?
Good stuff.
They're not physical. It's
Stealth
purely
is.
physical actions.
And stealth is not.
Stealth is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sneaking is, yeah.
I need to mark
Sneaking,
these
athletics, stealth athletics, firearms, scuffling, weapons.
somehow.
They need to put these in
Right.
a separate category other than general abilities.
Well, you guys are kind of more reliant on the. We need to refresh as much as we can.
So before
only because we
leave,
nearly
can we
die
say that
all the
we,
time.
Yeah.
we wrote the letter and posted it while we were in the city?
You can write it and then post it when you get back. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So how truthful are you? What are you talking about? Because you can't just blatantly. I will say you have to give
about
some.
what?
If you're writing a letter to contact one of your sources stability, I will say you cannot just blatantly lie and say everything's fine. I am on vacation. Ha 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 ha. Because that's not like you're reaching out to a person and trying to get solves from them. You're trying to. So you can either tell them everything. We're fighting a cult. It's crazy, or you can give oblique references. So what shade of the truth are you telling and who are you telling, by the way?
I'm writing to my sister, and I'm going to go for something in between. Like, I'm not lying to her. I'm telling her that there is a great force that we are fighting,
Okay.
and I am in danger, but I believe that I will return to her soon.
Is she in Shanghai? Mm-hmm. All right. Noted.
No, Ross. no ideas. I'm not telling you right
And I'm
now.
writing Dr. Aberforth and being very vague to the point where he thinks that I'm taking down the British Empire, but really it's another dark power in the world.
All right, yeah. The
So,
second worst
par
dark.
for the course.
Yeah. We need that TV ready, by the way. The tea.
It's right over there whenever it
Okay.
looks ready. So not quite yet.
Okay, not quite.
Well, if you swirl it around, I think it will be.
Okay.
It has layers, Ross.
It layers upon layers.
It's a rich tapestry of tea.
Yeah, so for the listeners at home, just so you know, this is not just any tea. This is jasmine pearl tea that I got from Chengdu. When my brother and I when I went to see my brother in China, we were.
I'm Rose Pete,
Yeah, at a hot pot
author
restaurant.
and world traveler.
I know, right? A group of drunken businessmen at the next table over at our restaurant saw my brother speaking Chinese, and so there was this whole thing like, "Oh, you must come talk to our university," and they gave him a box of tea and as a gift, just because why not? They were also celebrating a birthday party, so.
Smell it.
That's very nice. Wow.
Ooh. Oh, thank you.
They're over here.
And so I do not have the bright
Requisite
infuser
equipment.
or whatever to take advantage of it. But I'd either have to buy an infuser or just
Visit us,
Yeah,
which
visit
is the
you.
thing you already do.
exactly. So
Strangers.
Needs more Blanche Devereaux. Or no.
very good.
Strong enough?
Yes, very
Oh,
good.
wait, that's the Golden Girls.
So anyway,
Close enough.
Yeah, it still works.
so she will probably think that you're a spy and you're fighting fascists
likely.
or something, yeah. And you're revolutionary cause. So
I'm going to write to my on again, off again girlfriend, Tallulah, with
All right.
3 L's.
It's
a dancer.
complicated.
Yeah. Who is used to me getting letters from me about being away on
Business.
business.
All right, very noir. I like it. And yeah,
What do you want?
no, I like it. Anne, are you?
I'm writing to Sylvie.
Sylvie! Oh, yes, of course. If anyone survives this campaign, it will be Sylvie.
She's
So.
kind of used to me just kind of going all over the place
All right,
and
she's also
doing crazy, adventurous things.
She's so
Later,
ditzy,
when
she
Anne
won't
is
know.
playing Sylvie. Obliviousness isn't even an ability in this game. How do you have 8 points in it?
it just has max stability, and it just always makes your rolls. It's like, yeah,
Everything's fine.
She passes every stability check automatically.
I would probably give her a +1 to stability rolls, just for excellent role playing. All right. So you all write letters. You all reminisce,
And
as
we
you
need
all.
first aid.
You have a bonus point of 3 pools. Who's
Yeah.
going to get it? That would be 6 points of health for
Yeah.
the group.
I thought it was 3 points per.
We're doing it on other
It's
people.
Yeah.
1 per 2.
1-to-1 or 1
If it's 1-to-1, if you use it on yourself, it's 2-to-1 if someone else uses it.
And obviously,
So we get 2 to
since it's
1
a
in
group
this
pool,
case. Yeah.
we're going to do the trauma Congo.
Yeah.
Conga.
Congo.
Trauma
So who's
Congo.
the worst
something else
off?
apparently.
I have 6.
I have 6.
I have 6.
I have 8, and my
So
magic
Okay,
is
so
9.
we each take
yeah.
2. Yeah.
I'm fine.
That was easier than I thought.
And I refreshed my first aid 3 points, so
With your
if we
letter.
get close to death
Yeah,
again.
I also did too. So I can help.
I took stability because 4 was not high enough.
Good job.
I took stability because 5 was not high.
Also because I was like the stability mule for the party last time. No, it's
Thank you
fine,
for that.
gang. I'll go down to the basement by myself.
I hung out nearby.
Freddie must have like all of the stability.
Yeah. So the day passes. It is quite idyllic. You think about your life and what strange turn it's taken. You think about your quest, really, to reach the mountain in the Black Wind, whether you'll ever see the people you're riding again, because who knows what will be on that mountain.
Doom.
Yes, and, well, that's a spoiler
A
alert.
fat man in a diaper.
Well, there is now. Make a stability check now. And then
What's going to be on that mountain? A crater after we're there.
wow, that's optimistic. It's a bold strategy. Let's see if it works out. So
No, it's just
we made the
prescient.
crater.
the wagon driver shows up with the wagon. You all climb back in. You don't have to make another check to get in this time.
I'm a cabbage.
Because they're looking for people trying to flee the city, not for people coming back into the city.
Weird.
Yeah. And then you're back at the KCA storefront in the back, and Okomu outlines his plan. He says,
You know, we didn't check his bona fides. I really hope he's not. Like,
"Well,
too late now.
Yeah.
Well, John Stone is the one who brought
Okay,
him
if
in.
he's vouching for him, then
Yeah, he's vouching
we'll
for him.
deliver him.
Question. Can you give me explosives?
Okomu.
No.
He says, "I
There's
know
plenty of railroad work going on in East Africa at this point. So
there is. I know some people who
Will
work at the
cost a
railway."
credit rating spend to bribe Okomu to not bring him.
He says, "I know people working. I know their explosives are kept. They keep a close tab on them. You would have to forge the inventory to as well. It would be complicated because they don't want it getting into the wrong hands for some reason. Of course, you being who you are, you might be able to buy it legitimately. Say-
really, an Irishman buying explosives is going to work in the 1920s?
You could say you're working for a plantation. You're trying to blow up tree stumps.
Ah, yes, tree stumps.
That's legitimate.
I know. It's just frequently used in Cthulhu games.
It is. It is. He says, That might. Well, I don't know. You or he could try. I mean, the American.
Nope.
But explosives should not be used for this ambush. We should try to avoid
agree.
guns. I have 2 friends with bows. They will.
Did you say avoid guns?
Well, we want to avoid noise. This is one gunshot may not be noticed, but many gunshots, even in the part of town this will be in, would probably draw the police. And we want the bodies. We want to get rid of the bodies so that they're never found. So.
Can I spend a day working on developing the silencer?
You can do that while you're doing. You could have done that while you're at the plantation.
There's
The silencers
You're a
around.
dilettante. There's no way you don't know archery. Studied it in the
If you have
Catskills.
weapons, you could use that for archery.
Okay.
So, yeah, he can give you bows or other bladed weapons if you want. You know, spear, knife, machete.
Extra pair of brass knuckles.
Extra pair of brass.
What about explosives? No.
We just went over this. You can get dynamite. It's just going to be hard to
A
get.
flying ball beats your head.
That's not in this chapter. So the
Yeah, I know which chapter that is.
So the plan is for you to sneak back to your hotel, nice hotel, and then to get up and then walk over to the warehouse. Being led, Akoma will lead you, and so you will be just sneaking, but not really sneaking. You know, look like you're trying to be surreptitious, but still being obvious enough that anyone who's looking out for you will notice you. And so that will of course, require a stealth check, actually, to fail stealth convincingly.
Fail stealth convincingly.
And then we will wait to see who shows up. And then once we think we have all of them, we will, once they get in the kill zone, just kill them.
Are we going to stand around and just wait for them, or are we doing
just, like,
something that...
The bait.
Well, one of you might
Find a
be...
place to hide.
Well, that's why we should discuss that now.
Yeah.
I was thinking perhaps my friends would wait outside the building, and they could deal with anyone. He would imagine that all the cultists would rush in as soon as they thought they had you. They would try to surround the building and just rush you.
Or just burn it.
Arson. That's weird.
They want to be sure, and they like to. It is not their method usually. They like to kill their victims with bladed weapons and leave their mark upon their head.
What if they have magic?
Old Bandari has told me that the Singh was the most powerful person in the city.
But that doesn't mean he was the only one with choo-choo.
There's always.
I'm really not into another
It
fire
is-
vampire.
or any vampire.
It is unlikely. The cult is... They fight amongst themselves, and they jealously guard secrets. So it is possible Singh did not even warn the rest of the cult of your presence. So they might... It is a risk. I do not know. But I do not think so. If I thought that they had someone of that kind of power, I would not be attempting this. But they might. But you are the experts in this. You have you fought their evil spirits and won. I did not know people could do
Some
so.
of us have won.
As
Others
we ran
died.
away.
You've won now. It worked.
Yeah. I've heard stories that you fought hellfire and won.
Yep, that's a thing that happened.
So the plan is up to you. Akomu is not an expert tactician. He had a good at this. He's more getting people together, logistics and coordinating. For the actual thing, it is a warehouse. It is a 2-story warehouse, open inside. Just a big building that is being unused.
Do we still have the mirror?
Yes. It is in your possession, along with the dream plate and that new tome that you have in Hindustani. By the way, did you look at... and actually during that day of rest, you could have been working on the silencer, because... you could have done that. That would require a mechanics roll or a spin.
I have my toolkit that gives me 3 points in it.
Didn't you already use that, though, this chapter? I think it was once per chapter.
I don't remember using it.
We did.
I think I thought you used it during the breaking in the warehouse to fix something or repair something. I'll say.
Oh, Bill did
Yeah.
something. Sorry.
Bill did something with another kit.
Yeah.
We bought burglar's tools. And we
Oh,
kept
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
talking about
Yeah, you
basic
could use
things.
that. So just, I'll just say with that, you can fashion a silencer that will work for a revolver or one weapon of your choice. So, you only have pistol. Well, yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely won't work with the elephant gun, obviously.
Oh, I didn't
Weird.
know that one. I just
There
know
are
that
silencers for shotguns, which you could get at a safari supply.
But we would first need to have shotguns for those to be useful.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So it's up to you.
okay.
So yeah, so your pistol can have a silencer on it. It is homemade, so it will probably last at most one fight. Yeah, it
I
will.
also stick with the bow.
Basically, the material that absorbs it will just wear out. I mean, it's just silencers do not work forever, but it will last one fight. If you want, I will say you could not have read the tome in your day of rest because that is not. It is a vexing thing to be reading the inner secrets of the universe.
Weird.
Yeah.
Do we at least puzzle out the title?
Yes, in Hindustani, it is actually with a library you spend. You could actually figure out some interesting things about it.
I'll spend.
Okay. You can.
Because even though it's kind of odd for Anne or Margot as she's reading through it, because the words that are in it, some of the words that are in it, are not of Hindustani origin. It takes you to realize that these are actually words in another language that are being phonetically
Sounded
written
out.
Yeah. So with your point of library spin, you actually realize that this is was originally written in Middle English, and actually I'll say Middle English, and it is the Chispat Aquadinjan. So it is someone who took a book that was written in Middle English and then translated it into Hindustani. And with the point of that, you also realize it is talking about people of the water.
Lady of the lake.
Yeah, no, it's clearly.
Yeah, that's it.
The watery tart with a sword.
It belongs to a class of grimoires, collectively referred to as the Dagon books, after the biblical figure worshipped by the
the
Philistines.
biblical figure.
Yeah. These works seem to have originated in Phrygia or possibly coastal Holstein, and most likely come from a single Gothic text now lost. The work claims to have been written under the tutelage of certain oceanic spirits and contain the secrets of their enchantment, as well as the rights of sunken human lands.
Spoilers. Totally does.
Kosterman reports in his article Der Ursprung des Mythos der Dagon Sammlung. The earliest surviving mention of Dagon book comes from the fragmentary chronicles of the 8th century Schoting Kloster in Cuxhaven. I know I'm butchering these. I don't care. Which has in part some things in German. I will let you read that in a second. The oldest known Dagon book held in public collections is the so-called Codex Spedalix, Latin work thought to have been produced in the 11th century. It is held by the Uppsala University Library in Sweden. The Aquadinjan version.
Bad.
I just...
No. Just Swedes in the mythos.
Yeah. Aquadinjan version, also in medieval Latin, and of which there are 3 known by scholars, all reside in public or private collections in the United Kingdom. English translations, some as early as the 14th century, are rumored to be held in private. There is no record of the work being translated into Hindi. So, this is... You can read...
And now I'm imagining
There's the little bit
the little
in German.
IKEA guy
that you
being
can try
devoured
to,
by tentacles.
translate if you want. So, it is a mythos...
The origin of the mythos of the Dagon collection.
Yeah.
Schotten Kloster doesn't really translate well.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting work in that it is something from the European work translated into Hindi language, but it's talking about oceanic beings, aquatic beings.
And the long German sentence just says it was written under the tutelage of sea demons.
Oh, well, there you go. That must be nice. Yeah, I'm sure that's just...
Safe.
Yeah, safe. There we go. It's safe. So you haven't had a chance to really skim it. That will take time and stability checks. But, yeah. Anyway, so now you know what you have. Mm-hmm. And you took it from a guy who you killed. Good job.
Problem with the mirror is we don't know what alchemical
It does.
stuff. No, we know what it does. It spies on people or it kills people.
Yeah.
But we don't know what you rub on it to spy and what you rub on it to kill.
Well, yeah, you would need... probably Old Bundari would know if you wanted to figure that out.
Well, that's cool.
He's a mystic, or if you can get in contact with your mutual friends, they might be able to also give you the formula. But yeah, the one guy who actually knew it, he wasn't really too nice since you stole it from him, and
he's probably dead now.
Maybe you don't know.
Probably going to see
Or at
him.
least
You killed his rival, so
Yep.
everything's fine.
Everything's fine. So
What degree of access, maybe not even on our part, to the warehouse can, what was his name?
Okomu?
Okomu. Like, does he think it would upset the plan if some people were there beforehand? Like,
it is. He says the warehouse itself is poorly maintained. It is run down. It is due to be torn down any day.
but does he think that if people were seen around there, it would
If they were locals,
blow
or if they were winos, drunks, homeless people,
I'm Irish, I can do that.
No, that
Not you.
they
not
yeah.
us.
What are you thinking?
His friends could. The two friends
Yeah.
could.
I have a
How's
vague
that?
idea what he's going for.
Just the usual. Set up some tripwires, maybe.
Well,
Fred style.
Booby trap or two?
Yeah.
well, Okomu just says my one
Mangle tag
problem
trap.
is, which you are obviously know the mind of the cult. Would they all rush in at once, or would they post a lookout outside? Because if we get all but one, we don't want that one to get away to spread word.
I thought you had guys on the outside watching.
Well, we
for
have
that
two of
sort
them. I thought you were
circumstance.
talking about putting them on the inside. Oh, you're talking about
Ahead of
station.
time.
Okay.
4.
If he's got two guys,
Yeah.
then if they can do the setup work for us,
Mm.
Then
like,
we'll go in.
if they can dig the
wait
pit
outside.
and put the carpet over it,
Okay. Oh, yes, of course.
etc., etc.
Paper, I could sketch out a map and you can provide what it is.
And follow our instructions to the letter so that we don't accidentally trip it.
Well, yeah.
Fortunately, barring complete disaster, we should be in there just a little bit beforehand.
They will probably not rush you as soon as you get into position. As soon as you get in the building, they will probably there's probably what happens is one of them will follow you, and then he will go and tell his people, "Oh, I found them. They're in this building." Then they will all rush you.
Which we will completely let them do.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, let's get all Home Alone on this bitch.
Paint
No,
cans.
I suggest we do this at night, so the other building will not be occupied. There's a building near it. It is on the corner of a block, so there are streets on 3 sides. There are double doors on each of the center of the building, and then a side door here and here, and a smaller door here. It is 2 stories high, but it's just one big building, so double. That's it. I'll put a D by the double doors. So the other, so there's quite a few doors. There are windows that are actually have glass in them. The glass is partially broken out.
Nobody's come up with broken window theory yet.
Well, they just don't care at this point. This is not the nice part of town anyway.
Yeah.
So you can draw what you want on it, where you want it.
Is it completely empty, or are there places where we could take cover?
There are some crates and things, and certainly they could move some things around. I haven't. So you could draw 3 crates in there.
How big are these crates?
They're pallet sized, like one pallet on a size. One say, I know the pallet is actually that's anachronistic, did not develop until World War II, but deal with it. So there's actually a whole book about the history of the pallet.
There were precursors, however.
Yeah, there were precursors, so they're approximately the same size.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
American pallets or European pallets?
oh god, isn't the point of the pallet that it is one size regardless of
You would think.
You would think. Oh yeah, you would know. Yeah. Anyways, you could. It has a wooden floor, but it's badly maintained, and they could certainly pull floorboards out. And a carpet would look a little scant, but it's going to be dark. There will be a single lantern
Oh, if
inside.
there's floorboards and they can pull some of them up, then it's much easier.
Yeah. And the floorboards are directly over dirt, basically. So,
Okay.
yeah, it was just a cheap warehouse to store things.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
tripwire,
Pit.
pit.
Do we want pointy things at the bottom of said pit?
I would say, you can have 3 crates. Anything else, though, you have to make spends to help plan this out, or you can spend general ability points to help coordinate this.
Is there a second level you said?
It's 2 stories high, but it's one open space.
So now. Okay.
You could have a little perch or something like that, I guess, on the side. Along
Or we could clamber up on a crate.
yeah.
There's that.
Like for point of credit rating, I would give you guys up to 10 more crates worth of stuff to move around and get all Minecraft if you want, or Home Alone, as it were.
Yeah.
Can they be filled with asps?
Wow.
That could go really wrong.
yeah.
Really wrong.
You'd have to
Walked
catch
into the local asp dealer and said, "Hello,
I would like a crate
stout
of
yeoman. I would like a crate of your finest asps."
Yeah,
It's
that's
almost worth it just to hear crate of asps.
It's the name of my high school acid rock band.
Oh my god.
No, see, I can keep the joke lively if I keep trying to make up relevant music genres.
yeah. Well,
so?
you want to avoid
You
asp
think
for
so?
us. That's the bargain basement.
Yeah.
And AspCo is kind of like a little middle of the road. You want bed,
even
bath,
guarantee
and
they're
poisonous
venom.
snakes. So
Oh yeah, Cleopatra shop. There.
yeah, she did. It's a very upscale market.
Okay, so
Position crates.
right.
There.
So we probably want to try to funnel them, don't we?
I would say there are like a lot near the ceiling. There are like beams across, so
Right,
that somebody
because,
could be perched on one of those, climb up one of those.
I can do that.
That would take an athletics check to do quickly. So
Well, the idea then will be to not do it quickly.
well, or you could have if you had 2 crates stacked up by one, you could then pretty much clamber up without making a check.
Yes, Crate Stacker 2000.
Crate stacker. Yeah.
I am the man who arranges the blocks.
You could also have the windows boarded up, or put curtains on them.
You said there's 3
Bombarding us
doors?
with options.
I know, right?
No,
Yeah.
I don't know if I like these curtains with the floors.
Well, they cover up our murders,
Yeah.
but like they clash with everything, especially with the bloodstains.
Okay, so they're probably not going to come up the alley by this other building to come in. So
Gonna have doors sealed.
that's without using the crates to block them.
Can we just nail a plank?
We can nail them shut, yeah.
Okay,
Use those loose floorboards.
there you go.
So keep 2 open.
Just for grins, this one and the one on the alley, because I don't think we need to pour resources into that. Because if they have 3 other viable, means of
Well, they will probably try and cover all the. They probably will make sure you got. Remember, they're trying to kill you, and so they're thinking that they're going to try and
Right.
make sure you have
They're
no way
probably going
out.
to try and bottleneck us in too.
But
Yeah.
they won't know that the doors are sealed.
One
Right.
guy would probably, would be waiting in the alley, but he may be like, "Oh, the door's locked. I'll just go back with my buddies." Anyways,
well. Okay, do we want to seal off 3 and just completely funnel them then?
Sure.
Okay, let's leave this one locked.
What about
Lock.
those little doors?
Yeah, on the ones on the corner, are those like man doors? What's
there's singles. The ones with the D are double sided, so
Right.
that's for freight. The other ones are just standard sized
man
doors.
doors? Okay.
Man door. Person doors. They're unisex.
Now, I think even like the standard engineering term
Okay.
at the end of
Mandor.
it is Mandor. It's also going to be the name of my next
Mandor.
D&D
Rejected
character.
characters from Game of Thrones.
Mandor.
Or He-Man. Really.
Mandor Targaryen. Yeah.
The dwarven engineer.
Okay. Well,
Hodor's
we'll go
cousin.
ahead and block the Mandors too, because fire hazards. Yay!
There's windows.
That's why no explosives. No, we need to board
Well,
up the
the
windows.
explosives could have been useful because if we tracked them and tied them up, we could pretend like we're the demolition crew since it is slighted for demolition.
It's due to be torn down, but they do not use explosives to tear down
I
buildings
feel like
like
someone
that.
may notice that.
Yeah.
Especially 'cause it's at night
Low
when-
key.
Okay.
Basically, if you make a lot of noise, the cops are going to show up.
So
And
put some crates against the wall so that one of us can climb up on beams.
Yeah, we can. So we have one more for free.
I think you should put some here so someone can hide behind it, and when they come in, someone can be behind them.
Okay. I mean, mostly what I would like to have is a decent pit trap and just try to, get them to
Bottom.
rush us. I'm not even worried about bambooing the bottom of it. Like,
Right, because we can shoot them once they're stuck down there.
well, gunshots, a problem.
Well,
but
arrows.
they've got it. That's true.
yeah.
So if someone stands here and the pit is here, and they come in this way, someone needs to stand here to lure it.
Yeah. B is for bait.
We also need to make sure the pit is deep enough to where they can clamber out
Right.
by
Easily.
crawling on top of each other even.
That's a pretty deep pit.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know
and
if
there
we
will be
have that much
someone
time
up
and
on the
resources.
beams.
Well, we could also do it to where like the sides are slicked and muddy. Maybe. Like if you poured water into them.
other
Well, hopefully this isn't going to last so long that they'll have time to, get
Or
to...
get oil or grease or something.
Yeah, which might actually be easier to come by.
Yeah.
True.
So then is somebody here?
Also, it
You
won't
could put
dry
tar
out.
in the bar.
Also,
So they can
I
get out.
contact a fixer to start setting up and selling tickets for Cultist Mud Wrestling 1925.
Nice.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
We already have a venue. So somebody there. Bait.
Relatively large
Pit.
pit. P is for pit.
So 1 person, 2 person, 3 person. Where's the next person?
Rafters.
I
Yeah,
was
right.
including that
Okay.
person.
1, 2, 3. Well, if we have pits stacked, we could actually have 2 people up in the sky.
Okay. Ann and I can scramble
Yeah.
up there.
Guess that leaves me as bait.
No, I'll go bait.
Well, how much athletics do you have? Because we're gonna-
4, but 8 scuffling.
Okay, see, like you would be more useful for pushing them in the pit,
Then as
So you go here and go behind them.
whereas I can run like
Right.
the wind.
Well, I have fleeing.
Well, I have.
Yeah, this campaign hasn't had a whole lot of fleeing in it yet.
I've
We
tried.
don't tend to flee. Okay, it's a
It's
plan.
kind of hard to run away from the giant flaming ball.
Is that
You guys didn't even try. You were
I
just
guess
Kill that guy. Throw sand.
tripwire on the one door would be bad because that'd be a giveaway.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if we can get like rope and significantly weighty things, we could set up some Home Alone traps for you guys up in the rafters.
Yeah,
That would
swing it down.
yeah,
Right,
that would
from
be
behind
great.
them?
We'll
The rafter that goes over the top.
we'll tie it
We'll
off
swing
here
them that way.
Yeah, because you guys can be back here. You can climb up and then work your way across the rafters and be there. So essentially,
Actually, we could make one tripwire obvious so that they're looking down instead of up. Then, if we've got stuff that
But
they're
that'll tip
throwing
them off that
down,
we're booby trapping things.
but they might be so distracted looking at the bottom that they won't pay attention to the top.
also
But why do we don't want them to look down because they'll see the pit.
But the pit's covered, right?
floorboards.
But it might look suspicious.
Yeah,
It's not
I mean,
gonna
that gets them
look
to
like-
looking around. It's like those floorboards look disturbed. I believe
not
I will
stepping
step
there.
around.
It's like one of those old Scooby-Doo cartoons where you can tell like one panel's
Yeah.
animated, rest of different of the wall. Like, that's where the monster's going to pop out.
Pretty much.
Fair enough.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, let's just get like
right,
Maybe some individual weights, but also, well, you guys, I don't know, it'd be hard to
Do like
shift
a
a whole
wall.
Yeah, you
team.
guys are kind of in
Well,
the...
you have
If you could
athletics.
tie it up, I have a machete. I could just chop the rope, and
That's
then
true.
it would fall.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's tied to the rope? What's going to crash into them?
We have
big,
one large
thick
beam
timber.
and then
Yeah.
some.
Appropriately weighty things.
Like
Question.
hands, but not.
Did this building have any plumbing or piping in it?
No, it was
No.
a warehouse.
Yeah, it's a warehouse.
It doesn't even have offices.
Doesn't have
Is
electricity.
there any scaffolding anywhere?
Just the rafters.
You can get just the rafters. You can get scaffolding. I mean, say at this point, if you want to have the ropes and like, they could get a heavy thing with spikes on it that you could throw, slam into somebody that will be very owie.
I'm not really looking for owie.
Yeah, we were just
looking
thinking
for
knocking them down.
Any stragglers that
Okay.
are not like.
Well, why are we going to turn down Ow?
Yeah, I wouldn't turn down Al. Unless, of course, they stick to it instead of falling to the pit.
Oh, you're trying to get him to fall in the pit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's just if anybody.
All right, yeah, they can just tie it to a rock, basically, or a piece of metal, so scrap metal.
Are there any rocks on the bottom of the pit once we've dug it out?
There not that many unless you
sandy
bring them in.
subsoil.
Yeah, unless you bring it in. Like, I would say this would either
I'd
be.
buy a credit rating's
Only
worth
thing
of
is-
rocks.
No, I don't want them to have rocks.
No, I want a large boulder so if they fall, they crack their head.
I would say this would be either a mechanics pool to help explain things to this, or a point of credit rating to give them money to buy additional help and that kind of thing.
I was just relying on there being rocks in the dirt.
It's not like
Sandy subsoil again.
it's not going to be enough.
I don't
Like, yeah,
Also, why are you wanting to arm them?
Yeah.
No,
So does
big
someone have a
rock.
point?
Yeah, they're not gonna
I
have
one
huge
point
big
of
rocks.
We have the
rating.
group
I-
point of credit rating.
Well, let's use that then.
This seems like a good.
Yeah.
Oh, the stuff you get from you stole from the safe.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, no, you want
It also has the sequence of irony.
Yeah. So you use the cult's money to fight the cult. Good job.
Justice.
Justice.
Is it really?
I don't know.
Anyway,
So what does the B stand for again?
bait.
Bait.
That's where he's going to stand.
Him.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Just make it short for O'Bannon, but the American just
Okay.
decided to forget the O.
That's fine. So,
The what now?
See?
so are all of you going to be bait, or is it just him?
No, it's him. They're
You-
up in the rafters.
Okay, so you have to get
I'm
there ahead of
hiding
time.
behind the back crate to
So you
essentially-
three had to sneak there ahead of time, because again, this is the part of town where you'd stand out.
Big question. Since
Yeah.
I'm the bait, can I just have my elephant gun?
Yeah, I would definitely.
Good old hell's coming with me.
I would say firing that though will definitely attract the attention of the police.
Okay, but why do we need to get there so much ahead of time? I mean, it's only going to take us like 3
Right.
minutes.
Okay, all right, yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
true.
hide
So they're
behind a
not
crate.
looking for
That's true.
us.
Yeah.
All right, you don't have to. You can. Okay, so you're all going together as a group, and
Yeah.
you're just rushing to your positions.
Right.
Okay.
If we know where we're going.
Okay. All right. So you give him the floor plan. You give him detailed instructions. You give him the your money. Yes. I knew we were trusting the right. You're actually. Thank you. This is pleasantly surprised by your competence and diligence. You guys can have some of the tea too. It's actually really good. So anyway. So you get together, and you're going at night. So you leave your hotel, and with the elephant gun in a bag, of course, on your back. The rest of you looking, sneaky, not sneaky.
Right.
So
The perfect amount of sneaky.
the perfect amount of sneaky. So the cultists will notice you, but not be clued into your plan. So give me a group stealth test. Who's going to spend for that?
I have nothing to spend.
I have.
Yours didn't refresh?
You didn't refresh?
Oh, I throw a point at it then.
I'm
All right.
pointing.
Lols.
All right, that's 2 points.
I will also spend one.
All right,
I will also spend one.
teamwork.
All right, so that's +4.
Yeah.
Yep. Roll that beautiful stealth
8.
footage.
All right, you guys play your roles. You would this quite
Is it
well.
like all Gilbert and Sullivan, where we sneak around by singing a loud song about how we're sneaking around?
No, but you are conspiratorial, whispering to each other, looking very furtive as you go into the the local side of town, which is also well named as Blacktown. They are,
It's not okay.
Yeah, well, they are pretty racist. It is the 1920s. You do the few people that are out look at you very suspiciously.
Could be worse. It could be a French colony.
So you can give me a group sense, or actually all of you can give me sense trouble checks to see if you notice your tails, or if you have any. If you all roll ones on
6.
okay.
4.
You actually notice 2 tails. They are handy. They're actually pretty good at this. They are taking turns. They are and using hand signals to very gesture.
Just like that.
Very subtle. You need a 6 actually to notice it. So they are. One is following you for a few blocks, and the other one comes in, and then they're just taking turns doing it. So they're pretty good at this. But again, they have no idea that you're onto them, and that you are leading them into a trap. So you do. So it goes perfectly. But by the time you get to the warehouse, only one of them is following you, and he stops at the corner opposite the building you're at, and lights a cigarette. The other one is gone. You guess to get the others. So the Okomu's friends. Where did you want them? They were across the street as lookouts, or to keep anyone?
They're probably watching Man with the Siggy.
Yes, they probably are. The cultist seems to be none the wiser. So everyone, you're standing out in the open, so you don't have to do anything.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah. If you, if you shoot that elephant gun will be heard quite some distance. And if it's an elephant gun, that means a white man shot it, which means the cops better come, because, like, oh my god, that's what actually matters to them. Because again,
Racism.
yes. So it will make a great club, though.
That was my thought. And it's nice and shiny and scary.
Yep. So you could use intimidate checks, which may or may not work on insane cultists. So the other 3, so those of you that are hiding should give me individual stealth checks, because you're hiding in different positions.
1, 2.
It's been 2.
8.
All right. You are
7.
Wow, you guys are Batmaning the shit out of this. You are perfectly concealed.
I thought we were supposed to look obvious, but therefore we are darkwinging it.
Well, you are. The others are. Remember,
We're actually trying to hide,
yeah.
Now.
which I suppose is a flaw, because they're going to be looking for us. But hopefully
see
this
him.
goes so fast that
Yeah.
they're
So,
mostly, hey, crazy guy.
are all the windows boarded up?
Oh,
Okay, so you can't see out. Unless you go right up to one of
Is
them.
there a window on the second floor, though, where we are?
Yeah, there would be windows. If you want, did you board them up, or were you going to be
Not the ones up there.
Not the ones up there?
We were
Okay.
just thinking the ones on the first floor. so
not
that they
access
couldn't get
points
in.
unless beyond.
Okay. Where are you, Ann?
Well, Melissa and I are going to go over here,
Okay, so you're both in the same area?
right? Or,
Sort of
We're
on
up on the
opposite
beam,
sides
yeah.
of the meridian of the.
There and there.
Okay. There are actually windows only on the sides facing the street. No, there would be the one right there, too. So, Anne, you would need a sense trouble check. Melissa, you do see somebody going near the man door on your side, right here.
Okay.
and
So-
it's dark, right? So,
Yes.
assumingly they wouldn't be able to see us. if
Yes.
it's kinda dark.
Did you guys light a lantern or anything in there? If you're having
You
a
probably
surreptitious,
would have.
if you're having a surreptitious meeting, you probably need to light a lantern, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
So,
But just him.
We
Yeah.
hang a single light bulb with an aluminum shade from the ceiling. It is directly over Sean's character.
it starts swinging slightly. Yeah. No, you have a single lantern, so I would say it's in the middle of the room.
Wait, did we put grease in the pit?
Yeah.
Can it be a lantern instead? That's
Well, I mean, oil, so you're going to have some flammability issues there.
I
But
know.
That's his
Throw it at
point.
the grease in the pit. What's there in
No,
the pit?
I meant oil was what I put down for the pit, not grease.
I know. Once they're in the pit,
I'm saying flammability of most oils, you're going to have an issue there. But anyway.
It would be a roll.
Damn it, Ross. How can that not count as explosives?
Yeah, I would allow it. So, anyway, so Melissa, you see one. Anne, did you make a sense trouble?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, the point. So 4.
You think you see some movement somewhere in the alley, and only the front door is open, right? All right.
Well, the
So do I
this door
see?
is open.
That door is open.
What?
The back door is open.
No,
Wait,
only
isn't this the front door?
That's the front door.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I put L's by everything.
Ross got
Yeah,
turned
yeah.
around.
Yeah. Sorry, I got turned around.
This
hard to
is
really say
where
what
we
the-
want them to come in.
Yeah.
This is Sean across the room. This
Okay.
is the pit.
We need a compass
And then
rose.
Yeah.
Melissa and I came up through there and are hanging up. in the
Yeah.
rafters.
Sorry, I got turned around. I was looking at the door.
So do I see him try the door?
Yes. He tries the door.
What does he do?
He opens it. Just ajar. You can tell he's looking through it.
It's locked.
Oh, the locked door.
Everything,
This is the
but you
unlocked
said one of the main
Yeah.
doors.
Sorry. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
The first he
wait.
tries the man door. The man
That's
door is
locked.
Sealed.
All right.
Yeah.
Is it boarded up or is it just locked?
We spent a credit rating. We should board them all.
Yeah.
All right,
Locked
so
and
he can tell that. He spends some time there a little bit. You're guessing he's trying to figure out why it's boarded. Okay, so
Whatever. Place is about to be, torn down. It's reasonable.
all right.
Don't want those kids getting in.
You actually see the other doors are being tested as well, and then you can tell they converge on the door, on the one open door they are following for. So there is the doors flung open, and they rush in. There are a bunch of them, and of course only 2 of them get in at a time. It's
About how much is a bunch?
You can't tell. Most of them are outside. There's a bottleneck issue. So this is your surprise round. There are 2 of them in the building and an unknown number outside the building. You could spend your round standing up, looking over the window to figure out how many more there are, because there's a throng of them. Or you could attack, or you could wait to let them get in further. But they see Sean standing there with the gun, so they're committed to rushing in. So there's 2 already in the building, 2 of them at the door, and then an unknown number outside. So what is
They're
everyone?
running directly towards the pit?
They are
We can see.
rushing directly ahead. Yes,
So Okamu's men are outside, right?
yeah. There's an unknown number out here.
No, I mean our people.
Yes, they are across the
So-
street. You think?
And they were going to help us. They said
Yes.
they would help us. So assumedly, once all the cultists are in, they will block off that entrance.
That's going to be the first thing I do.
That's what Bill's there
Oh, okay.
Once they're all in,
Okay.
Yeah, what were your explicit orders to them?
to go after the lookout.
To go after the lookout. So,
Yeah, don't let the lookout get away.
so not to attack them, but to focus, to make sure there's no lookout.
Yeah.
Okay.
And anybody who I mean, if
Stragglers.
we fail and, some of them
Yeah.
go for an escape, just
Yeah.
cover the outside, we'll cover the inside.
Okay.
Unless I make the sound
So
of
they
a
will.
horned owl.
So they are not. So this round they will not attack.
All right.
They are probably looking. You don't know exactly what they're doing, but they are probably looking to make sure there's no lookouts.
I'm going to sneak a peek in between the boards. See if I can.
Okay. Are you up on the rafters too? Or
He's behind
that
the crate.
okay, you're behind that crate. Let's see here. How are you looking through there? I thought all the windows were boarded up or everything. Are you moving out of the crate?
He's looking at the people inside.
Oh yeah.
right?
Well, there's 2 inside, 2 at the door, and an unknown number outside.
Can
Okay.
he see outside at all?
You 2 can because you're up above. You're on the rafters, and you said you didn't board up the second story windows.
Okay, so can I peer outside and see
Yeah.
how many there are?
That would take
I
your
do that.
action.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what you're peering over, looking, counting out how many.
I'm just going to hold then.
Okay. You're
I will
holding.
signal you.
What are you doing? They see you. They're obviously looking straight at you. Looks like they're rushing at you. They have prongas in hand.
Are they rushing what? That's what I was planning on. Are they rushing? What? What's
Yeah,
their
they are
trajectory?
rushing. They're going straight. They see you and they're rushing straight at you.
Basically, I say, bring it.
Okay.
The 20 is equivalent.
You're playing your part. Anne, what are you doing?
I'm going to be ready with my machete in case I need to knock
Okay.
things down.
All right. You got your machete. You're perched over them. So that's round one.
That was an entire round.
That was an entire round.
We all did something.
Yep. Holding your action. It's very tense. So,
What does Melissa see?
Melissa, you count it up. You count. It looks like there are 4 outside. Four more outside.
Counting
2
the
at the door and 2 inside for a total of 8.
Okay. So as soon as all 8 get inside,
Well, hold on. The round 2, the first 2 rush in and they fall in the pit. And they are not spending athletics because they're surprised. One of them grabs onto the side.
It's greased.
It's greased. He is digging into it. They are not. It's not perfectly greased, and there is
Sandy
wood.
subsoil.
Yeah.
We covered.
There's also floorboards around it.
Yeah.
So that is a 2. So 1 falls totally in.
Okay.
There's 2 that see the pit and will have a chance to avoid it. Their forward momentum is carrying them into it, but they will have a chance to either try and jump over it, which is probably what they're going to do, or try to do.
That's a pretty big pit.
It is,
but there's floorboards over it, so they don't know how far is safe or not.
One's falling in.
One is struggling.
One is struggling. One is on the edge, and 2 are running towards it. 2 are at the threshold again, and 2 are outside. So that's their actions. They clearly realize something's up. They have not yet said anything. They have been silent. They are just kind of hissing in anger. They are totally focused on killing, O'Bannon right now, because he is the only person inside. So they're still acting on instinct more than anything else. So what is everyone doing for your action for round 2? The guy who fell in the pit takes 4 points of damage.
Wow.
He falls on his head. You hear a sickening thud.
There was a boulder.
There was a small rock, and he hit his forehead right on the rock. It is not enough to kill him, but it is heavily.
It's a bad day.
It is a bad day. Actually, let me look at their health. That might have done it. They're moves.
I hope so.
Wow, these cultists are made of paper.
Yeah, they're. I'm not. No, they're. Let's see here. They're actually kind of.
He's going to come back and say they actually have 16 hit points.
No, I'm not that mean. And I got other things. Don't just trust me. I have quite a bit. He's still
Australia.
He's still around. He is wounded though, and I will say stunned. He's not going to do anything next round.
What about the one that's still trying to grasp at the side?
Well, that was his action. This is round 2. That was their
Right.
things. This is now it's your turn. So what are you doing in this instant?
so as soon as all 8 are in, I'm
Well,
going
they're
to...
not all in. 6 of them are in.
Okay, I'm not going to do anything then.
All
I'm
right.
waiting.
And do they have any ranged weapons?
It looks like they're all carrying blades right now. These long blades. They could certainly throw them.
You ready to...
They are prongas. They are those curved blades.
Can I use athletics for dodge?
No, it's just your hit threshold, which would be 4, I think. But yeah, then that looks like it's the only weapon they're armed with. So it'd be disarming themselves. So they, plus
Not likely.
Yeah. So Bill, you're waiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still brandishing the giant gun and saying, "Bring it."
Okay.
Not me, bro.
And
Can you point out where the... So there's 5 inside,
6 inside.
6 inside.
6. Well,
One's
4
in the
are totally
pit.
inside. 2 are in the door. Only 2 can fit
One's
in
in
the
the
door.
pit, one's
So
struggling.
are any, right here?
I would say the one in the pit is sort of at that area. Actually, I would say the guy who fell slid on and hit this backside, so he's holding onto the edge on this side.
The one who's struggling, arrow him.
Yeah.
Arrow the struggler.
That would probably knock him down.
Okay, because I was thinking I could also knock. We had the beam, and then we had 2 rocks.
Save those for when we have more.
Yeah,
Okay.
until they're all in. Then
All right, then I'll grab my bow and try
Okay.
to shoot him. Well,
Okay.
should I do that now? Because then they're going to know I'm up there. Or should I
well,
wait?
okay.
Just wait.
But if he's grabbed floorboards and is struggling,
He shooted you already.
Well,
He's
more
looking
importantly, he's in the pit. So if you stick an arrow in the back of him, they're not going to see said arrow.
True. Plus it's
Like,
dark.
Also dark.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
yeah.
not focused on you.
Then I'll shoot the guy who's not quite in the pit.
He has dropped his blade, by the way, too. It's at the bottom of the pit.
Good.
We're
All right, go and give me a roll.
Did it land on the other one? No. Finish him off?
And
No.
Dang it.
That's a weapon.
Yes, weapons.
I'll add 1.
His
So
hit threshold is a 3. Did you hit?
She got a 3.
All right, yeah, that
Does it
totally
count?
hits.
Okay.
That hits.
Let me look at the damage of a bow. Actually, bow's plus 0, so it's just a straight D6.
wow.
Wait, a gun is subtracting, but
Depends on the caliber of the gun. Guns start at actually plus 0, and they go up to. Well, it depends on the caliber. I was. Fist is a D6 minus 2. All right, yeah, that heavily wounds him too.
so he
Does he
drops.
fall?
Oh yeah, he falls.
And now
So
you
2
need to
in the
roll the
pit.
damage for the fall.
Oh yeah, I do. There's a,
Sean is really concerned about the suffering of these cultists.
inflicting it. All right, that kills him. He falls to the ground. The arrow. He falls on his arrow, and it just pushes
Oh.
up into him.
Okay,
I was
maybe not
cultist.
that. I was just thinking he dropped and died the same way, landing on the exact
Nope.
same rock.
I was a
but-
cultist once until I took an arrow to the chest. Aw.
Pretty much. So that was cultist 2. 4, 5, 6.
So we literally killed one with a stone and one with a stick. With a
Well,
pointy-
the one with the stone is still alive. He's just stunned. All right, so this is round 3. The cultists will have a chance to figure out, oh shit, maybe this isn't the ambush we thought it was.
Oh, it's an ambush.
Yeah. So they need a 5 of this round. They get a 4. All right, so they're still not quite figured it out yet.
They're not bright.
They weren't.
kinda confusing.
You killed their leader. They're not the most subtle of people. They're good at certain tasks like stabbing and tailing people, but abstract strategical thinking is not their strong suit. The one on the side is dead. The other one was stunned. He is going to try and climb out. He needs a 4. He gets a 6.
Even with the oil.
Yeah, the grease. And the sandy subsoil.
He rolled a 6 and he spent 1 point. He got a 7.
Shouldn't he be making a stability check for seeing his comrade with the arrow sticking straight out of him?
Cultist.
Yeah, no,
He gave up
What if he
stability
steps on
a
the
long
arrow?
time ago.
Sorry, arrow shattered.
How much does he have left? He can't have much. He has
doesn't
to
have
be
much.
bleeding out.
So does that mean he's out of the pit?
He is out of the pit. He has climbed out. He is crouched on O'Bannon's side of the pit. The 2 that are running towards the pit are both going to make athletics checks. They need a 4 or a better to clear it on your side. If they get a... they have to roll a 4. If they roll 3, then they are on the side. If they roll a 1 or 2, they fall. If they get a 6, they'll be in melee range. So 1. He is on your side. Catches balance. That's all he's going to do.
Wait. How close does he land to the other guy?
They can see each other, so they're a couple feet away from each
How
other.
far are they from the loose floorboards that I need to shove them into?
They're close enough. You can shove them into with an attack because you're not.
We're having sex.
The other one makes it. Both of them make it. Let's see here. The last 2 are in. They're at the door. And then the other 2 are running towards it. Actually, they see the pit now, and they are going to make athletics checks to turn around. So they're going
Every
to.
now and then I get.
One of them just stops. He loses his movement as he almost skids into the pit, but does not. The other one does slide into the side of the pit, so he's clinging on the side. So one is so 2 of them are here. One sort of in the pit. 2 of them are on his side.
3. The wounded one is on my side too.
Yes,
remember?
he is on the. So there's 3 on the other side, and then there are 2 at the door. And one says so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's all of them. So they're in melee range with you, or just about, so they can't attack, but they will attack next round. So now it's everybody's turn. So there's 2 at the door. But yeah. So, Anne?
Well, I guess I will shoot again.
Did you take
The
Yeah, I've got a bow too.
Okay.
which one's the wound one?
The one in the pit.
Yeah.
No, she's asking about the one that made it to my side.
Oh.
He's over here. He's a little.
Because she could finish him off, and
Yeah.
then
That's
I
what I
could.
was thinking.
You could.
Yeah, I think I'll go after him.
All right. He's out of the pit, so they will definitely see that arrow coming in. But yeah.
At this point, they're all in,
Right
though,
here?
so we're going to have to start fighting them anyway.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll give a point. So that's 3.
It just hits.
Yeah, just hits.
Roll damage.
Chicken fruit.
4.
4. That finishes him off. He falls to the ground. The
Can
other
he fall into the pit?
Sure. There's another body in the pit.
We want this nice, clean, and contained so we can just put the floorboards back
Yeah,
over.
walk away.
Yeah. That's fine.
Big damn murderers.
Won't be the first mass grave you guys have filled. Sean, what are you doing?
Is it Bill's turn, though?
Well, I'm just going around the table. It's basically bad guys go, you guys go.
Okay. And they're
I mean, you could
with
wait
me,
You
like
got 2
bashing
you
him
know.
with with the gun.
You could
Not
try
as
and
a
push one into the
firearms.
pit with weapons. Firearms is,
Shooting.
Yeah. Pointing and
What about athletics?
I would allow scuffling. Weapons are
Turns
scuffling.
out certain things are for certain things.
Or you could run or climb up to the
Or
rafters
just
with
keep
athletics.
standing there throwing insults at them.
I would allow, if you want to go full defense, you could raise your hit threshold by 1 by making an athletics check. By basically, I'm here. Yeah. Rope-a-dope them, basically.
I can do that.
All right.
So rope-a-dope, athletics check.
Yeah.
I'll throw 1 in. That'll be a 6.
All right, your hit threshold is a 5. You start ducking and weaving. Talking smack
like a
in
butterfly.
English, which they don't understand. But,
Actually,
it
I'm shooting for
infuriates
Gaelic.
they really don't understand it.
But they
no
really
one
feel
understands it.
insulted.
There's probably no one who understands it in 100-mile radius, at least. Maybe a couple. I mean, there's a railway nearby, so there's probably some Irish guys working on it.
There's a Catholic missionary. In
Yeah, that's true. There's probably a couple, but yeah, no one in earshot, certainly. Bill. Yeah, no one.
I'm just going to hold.
Yeah.
Okay. Waiting for the 2 guys inside at the door to get in.
And other things.
Okay, fair enough. Melissa.
I'm going to try to arrow one of the ones that's standing in the doorway.
Okay.
No?
Drop. Home alone.
Anybody but them.
We don't
Let
want
him
them to
get
get
in.
out.
Okay, alright.
They could. One of them could try and get out and just get word. Because
Okay.
if they realize they're being ambushed,
they're.
they're.
Arrows.
I mean, I will say this for free. If they realize they're being ambushed, which they are in the process of realizing, they will try to get word out to the rest of the cult that,
Let them all clear the door. Then, even if they balk, you run the beam as the sweeper.
Okay.
But in the meanwhile, anybody who's giving trouble, like, say, the guy that end ran the pit, shoot him.
Okay, yeah, the one that's hanging on the edge on the other side.
All right, yeah, you can give me that. You need 3.
Weapons. I will add 1. Yeah, we're good.
6. Roll d6 for damage.
2.
Oh. Well, hey,
Is that enough to
Yeah.
knock him in?
hits is hits.
He will have to make an athletics check. He needs a 3 or better.
Then he rolls damage from the
Then
fall.
base difficulty?
He needs a 2. He can roll the 2, so he falls down.
Yay.
Now damage for the fall.
Now damage for the fall.
Man has a point.
All right,
Much as I had to say.
2 points. So he
Total of 4.
Total of 4. Still up.
They can't have more than 9.
They can't have more than 9. So he's still up, but he's having a bad day. They're all having bad days.
Scheme did not develop as
Especially
planned.
when you give us mechanics to game.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
No,
Well,
this was like a legitimate, like, real life kind of plan.
yeah.
We did have a plan this time.
No, I meant the falling in the pit for
Oh,
damage.
yeah.
Your 2 buddies are starting to act. They both spent 1, so they both hit. Oh, No, he's still up, unfortunately. You hear a cry outside. You don't know what that is. Somebody's yelling, but somebody yelling may not draw the attention of the cops. So hopefully they can put an end to that shortly. The fact that two guys at the door, they need a 3 or better to figure out what the fuck's going on. And do something else. A 1 and a 2! And
They're drunk.
They're pissed. Their bros are being attacked. What's up? So they step inside. They are not running, though. They're both yelling at each other in Swahili. And you understand. Get out. There's a pit. There's a trap. There's only 2 of them. One of them looks up at the rafters and sees you, and both of you, since you're both up on the rafters. So the last 2, both of them are going to spend their actions to climb up to the rafters.
The boxes are way over here to get to the rafters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're near a wall, so they can just try and...
What are they going to do?
Scramble up the wall?
Yeah.
A sheer wall?
It's only 2 stories. It's about 10 feet.
It's a wood frame building.
I'm just trying to make
Well,
it
and one can
difficult.
boost the other, I suppose.
Yes. In fact, yeah, they'll do that. So one of them's going to do that. So he will spend... He has athletics. He has a lot of athletics. He really wants to get up there. He's going to spend 3. And his buddy's giving
Now
him
can
1.
I shoot him?
Can't stop the rock.
Oh, look, he made it. So he gets up by... did both of you shoot a bow last round?
Yeah.
All right. I will say he goes next to Melissa.
He climbs all of that
With his friend boosting him up,
in the round.
he jumps up. He's in your face with a pronga, so he will take a slash. This will be at a penalty, though.
Doesn't he have to make some sort of dexterity or athletics check to make sure that his friend
It's
on the
only
bottom...
2-story, and it's not
His
like...
friend's holding him on the bottom, though, isn't he?
No, it was more like
No,
he held his
up there
hand
now.
up.
It was a boost.
Yeah. So they are good at stabbing people. So that will beat your threshold. Actually, he's targeting your bow, I will say. He is going to... he strikes at your bow. The wood bites into it. Your bow is still intact, but it's got a deep notch in it. So you probably... If you shoot it a few more times, it will probably break from the stress. So that's those 2.
He's going to have bad luck trying to stab your rock.
Yeah.
I do have a large rock.
You can switch to that. Drop the bow and switch to that. The other guy in the pit is going to try and get out. He needs a 3 or better. Goes a 1. He's still in the pit.
Does he fall further?
No, he can't. He's at the bottom of the pit.
But did he, scramble part of the way up and fall again?
No shot.
That doesn't damage.
Yeah.
It's controlled slide. Tactical.
The 2 that are on the side are going to spend athletics to try and overwhelm Sean, or to basically get around to your side. So they need a 3 or better on athletics. Wow, they both get 2s.
Does one of them fall in the pit?
No, they don't. You have to push people into the pit now. But 2 of them...
Speaking of that...
Well, their last 2 are going to attack you, and they need 5s, but they're spending... they really want to stab you, and they have weapons of them, so they're going to spend 2 each to try and shank you. And they both get 6s.
Oops.
Yeah. So... But they both roll 1s for damage, but they get +2, so that's 4 damage as you're struck
I am
twice.
down to 4.
There are deep cuts on you as you duck and weave, and barely avoid getting decapitated.
Thanks for being bait.
Yes, you're excellent bait. And these guys are now, let's see here, up here. They haven't quite flanked you yet, but they're making progress. So let's see. We started with you last time, so we'll start with you this time.
On the beam.
Melissa?
Actually, is anyone still in the strike zone?
Everyone's moved in. No one. There's one guy in the pit.
Okay, so I'm going to try to shove my guy off of...
The rafters. Mm-hmm.
Would that be scuffling? Okay.
Totes would be.
So I will add 2.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. 4.
All right. He will try to hold on. He will not spend any because he. How could she possibly push me over?
Tiny 8 remaining.
And he gets a 3. So you push him over.
Excellent.
Does he fall also into the pit? So
No,
it's
he's not
actually
over the
fall?
pit. He's in the rafters, which are.
He falls onto the hard floor.
Yeah, this will be a d6 minus 3. So 2 points of damage. Good job.
It's a bad day to be a cultist.
A lot of
Unless you're the
damage.
one stabbing the Irishman.
All right, so Bill, what are you doing?
They're about to pay.
So everybody's in.
Yes.
I'm rushing over and closing the door.
All right.
Going all coward to the county on this.
You don't even really need to make a roll. I mean,
Damn Skippy.
Yeah, you rush up and close the door, and they weren't. The one guy who was giving them boost sees you though, and he's like, "What?" But your guess he's going to try and stab you next on his next action. So you have to deal with that. Sean, you're getting swarmed.
Yeah. I'm going to run.
That would be a fleeing check
Or athletics.
or athletics.
Thank you.
Okay, either one.
I will spend 2.
Spend the fleet.
I would get
Athletics
3.
is
All right.
versatile.
You move out. You push. Are you going to back yourself in a corner so you can't be surrounded, or are you going to try to just run to the other side of the pit?
Run to the other side of the pit.
Okay, so you're like over here.
I need the map. I
All right. So you were here. You just like
Try to
running
get
over
him to
this
cut the
as
corner.
far.
That's what I'm trying
Okay.
to do, is get him to cut the corner.
All right. With a 3, you're moving. You're not doing essential way. I will say you can keep defensively fighting. So your hit threshold is still a 5.
Okay.
So, but you don't get out of sight. They're still in melee range. You don't clear that much ground. Let's see here, Anne.
I'm going to shoot the guy that was boosting the other guy.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure where he is, but
He's just below you.
Okay,
they're
that's
all.
okay.
I'm shooting one of the guys chasing me.
well, I'm hoping they'll fall in the pit.
Oh yeah.
So I'm adding a point to it, and I got a 6.
All right, that does double damage. That's twice his hit threshold, so you get to add an additional d6 of damage.
So 4, and I just roll again then.
Yeah,
Cool.
He did.
he is quite dead. But this is remember the critical hit rule from Night's Black Agent. So.
Yeah.
All right, you shoot an arrow straight through him. It pierces his chest through the sternum. These both have.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame.
You lose a fate point. So.
He's not going to record that.
Yeah, no, I figured as much. But so yeah, at this point you've killed enough that it. Yeah, all right. So outside,
in terms of stability.
one of your friends makes it, and he managed. You hear another yelp, but that's about it. Looks like they
excuse me.
finally silence the sentry.
That's not a yelp.
Yeah. No, yeah, that was not it.
Right.
No, something comes up from underneath the air. It is. So now it's in the ground. Let's see here. The guy who fell. Let's see here. He sees the door is closed. All the windows are boarded up.
He gets a little nervous.
He gets a little nervous.
I've seen this movie.
He
Made a terrible
is.
mistake.
With a bloody tongue, I shall see you. Anyways, in hell, or he screams out in Swahili, which you don't understand. He will try and charge at you, Bill. Scrambling at his feet.
Who's gonna hate?
He gets a 4, which would definitely hit.
Yup.
Let's see here. And wow, yeah, 7 damage. I would say.
Gangster vest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So 6 damage. So it cuts along that. So good job, not dying. Guy in the pit gets a 1. He yells at one of his buddies to help him up. One of his buddies is going to help him up, or try to.
I'm beginning to feel for these guys. They're really human. They have friends.
He helps. They start helping him up. So 2 of them are out doing that. And let's see here. So that was 1, 2, 3. So there's 2 left to chase at. Let's see here. Poor O'Bannon. This guy's easy to stab. We don't need to spend points.
Okay.
1 will make it. Ouch.
And we'll hit.
Yes, for 6 damage. What does that put you at?
-2.
-2. All right. Until you get to -6, you're injured. Your hit thresholds go up by 1, but other than that, you're still fine. Ow! 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 The pain. So let's see here. Your guys' action, and you can go up first.
So what? How did those guys Are they near the pit then?
There's one guy at the pit. There's another guy helping him out of the pit and reaching the barn, helping pulling him up. The other guys are near the pit. The ones that are fighting Sean are near the pit, so you could hit
other
them.
end of the
I
pit.
really want to
Yeah,
just shoot.
So like our log wouldn't probably work on any of that.
Which way did you have it?
It would swing down from the front and then toward the pit.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Was it just a single, how big of an object? Was it just like
It was a long beam.
a long beam? Did you have it horizontal? Or
Tied on both ends.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it'd be like
Oh, okay.
this and like swinging.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a sweeper.
I would say you could hit the guy who was helping the one up,
Yes!
and that would hit both of them actually.
This is what you get for altruism.
Yeah,
And then roll for damage
Yeah.
for both of them.
yeah, because his head is
From
up.
both the sweeper.
It actually
And
the
the
beam would be at the guy who's in the pit at his head. So the other one,
Oh.
yeah. So
That's gonna be gross.
So you can do that. I would say you could just spin an athletics roll to see how fast you push it or kick it off. So
Well, it's tied. Right?
yeah,
But
Or
how much
using
extra do
gravity.
you add?
Oh, okay.
yeah. So you can give me an athletics check.
Sure, I'll do that. I'll add 2.
Yeah.
So 6.
All right. I will say they will need to roll 6s to not
Not
die.
get decapitated.
Yeah. Well, one will be decapitated. One will be just have his chest crushed. So one of them does. One of them actually avoids. The guy who pick him up sees it coming. He's like,
Nope.
Love you, dude, but
say, let's go. He pulls away. The guy's like, what are you doing? And then his head is crushed. So that's another one gone. But he jumps to the ground, so he will lose his next action. So good job. You took out another one. You've taken out 4 of them so far. There's only 4 left.
2 of which are trying to kill me.
Yes, you could taunt them to try and draw attention to them. So it's your action next.
I can't shoot the gun, and
You could-
nobody
you
gave me
could.
boom boom sticks.
Well,
do you have a machete?
I don't have weapons, so it'd be a flat check. But
you could use scuffling to weapon butt someone.
I don't have scuffling, so
okay.
it would be
Okay.
You could continue running around with
You could drop your elephant
Run
gun and
towards
shoot a
him.
pistol.
Run towards him.
Pistols wouldn't make as much noise.
I'm just gonna beat him over the head.
Now
with the
you tell
frickin'
us that?
elephant gun.
That's common sense. Like
No, not really, because you made her develop a silencer for the
she
gun.
No, she asked to develop
asked
the
if she could make a
silencer.
silencer.
Okay, and I guess that might be phrasing because you did say less noticeable, not noticeable.
I'm saying an elephant gun would automatically be detected. I'm saying pistol would not, but a pistol I would roll to see if the cops notice it.
Okay.
And certainly one
Still
shot
not
is
worth
different than
Right.
repeated gunfire. If you had Tommy guns, or you're all just if you all just stood in a fire line waiting for them to show up, that would probably be a little.
As long as we can make a quick exit, it would have been fine. But we're not.
Well,
that
the thing
good
is, you're
shots.
trying to get rid of the bodies as well.
Right.
It's up to you. It's risk versus reward. So, risk, yeah.
I'll just beat him over the head with the elephant gun.
Sure.
Flat check.
I'll give you a +1.
6.
All right, that hits. Roll damage.
2.
All right, 2 points.
Can I knock him in the pit?
Give me an athletics thing to see if you
I'll
can.
add 2.
All right.
6.
All right.
Hit damage.
He is pushed towards the pit. Let's see if he falls in. 3. He slides into the side. He drops his blade and clings onto the side. He doesn't fall all the way in the pit, though. So
But you dropped his blade.
he drops his blade. So you only
Still
have
on
one
his
stabbing
fingers.
at you.
Well, there's still the other one.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
Bill.
Fingers.
Can I still stomp on his fingers?
If that's what you'll lose your defensive bonus because you're switching.
I
to
don't
offense.
care anymore. The defensive bonus has not helped that much.
Yeah. Well, I've
The
been rolling.
goggles, they do nothing.
They give you 16% additional.
Okay,
bonus. Anyway,
so-
well, it's Bill's turn next.
What do you need for me to stomp on his fingers?
That'll be your
Nothing
next
this
action.
turn.
Ah, okay.
I'll spend 3 scuffling.
Okay.
Punch the keys for God's sake. 9. Is
All right.
that a critical?
That is a critical hit.
All right.
3.
Brass knuckles were +1. Weren't they?
Yeah, but fists are D6 -2, so it's a D6 -1. Instead.
Okay, so 3 and 4 is 7.
7. That takes one down.
All right, that's the only one that was bothering me. I can
Yep.
now deal with other issues.
Thank you.
There's 3 left. Melissa.
I'm going to shoot the one that is dangling at the edge of the pit.
The one I just knocked in?
Yeah.
Or the other one.
Or the one
How many
that
are
wore
there?
No,
that.
there's only there were
Decapitated.
that
Actually,
one
no.
got his head crushed.
I'm going to shoot the
Three.
guy that got knocked down by the beam but didn't get killed.
Oh yeah, he the one helping him up. He just
Right.
jumped to the side, so
Yes,
he's just
so
on
I'm
the
going to
ground.
shoot him.
Just to jump to the left.
All right,
And
I will add
arrow
one.
in the chest.
7.
all right. Good news is it's a critical hit. Bad news is your bow breaks under the strain. After
Okay,
the
that's fine.
So roll double damage.
Now you just have rocks.
4. 6.
All right, 10 there. Yeah, you
Keep it
take him
down.
out. Good job. So there's 2 left, one in the side of the pit, and then one a stabbing. Your 2 sentries outside are doing something, probably disposing of the buck.
That's wise.
We have a pit.
The last one. Well, they need to bundle it up to get it across the street. You know, and clean up the bloodstain.
They're not going to do Weekend at Bernie's?
They haven't seen that movie.
The movie doesn't exist yet. Anyways, one will hit you, and Sean. Actually, no, because you're the only one there. Oh no, he will switch over to Bill. He backs over. They're crazy cultists.
I think this is just because Ross doesn't want to kill me just yet.
Yeah. For
Will hit.
4 damage, but minus 1, 3.
Okay.
No.
Ow.
Good thing we were fresh first aid.
So it's not your guys' turn. So Melissa, your bow broke. So
I still have a rock, though.
Can't stop it.
that would definitely be a
can't
D6 minus
stop
2
the
to.
beat.
Yeah, wait, so where are they positioned
Stop
right
the
now?
rock.
One is dangling on the side of the pit, and one is in front of Bill's character, punching him, or they're melee.
Stabbing
Still in the
him.
pit,
Yeah, so-
correct?
What?
Is everyone still in the pit? That's all.
Yes,
We're
he's
down
on the
to
side
2.
of it.
Yeah, he's holding
There's
the
just
side.
down to. Just
Okay, so I'm going to chuck the rock at the guy's head that's dangling from the edge of the pit.
All right.
'cause he'll
That
probably
would be
do right
weapons.
there. Yeah.
Tonight on
So I will
American
add one.
Gladiators.
7.
Wow. You
You broke my bow.
one of them did, yeah.
Prepare to die.
It's a D6 minus 2 because it's a rock. It's not super aerodynamic or anything.
1.
On the other hand,
But it,
you
well,
get
you
a roll
rolled
of
you got a 7. That's
Does he fall into the pit?
that's a 7. You get to roll another D6. It's more than twice his hit threshold.
So 1 again.
So 2 points.
Does he fall into the pit?
He falls into the pit.
So 4 total damage.
And he dies. He hits his head again. You split his head. You cracked it right on the noggin. He fell down, and you hear something snap. It's pretty
That
great.
can't be good.
2 scuffling got a 6.
All right, that's a critical hit.
All right. 4. 4 and 2 is 6. So
was already
with the
Yeah.
okay.
The last one I had alive said he had already taken damage, so probably took damage from something. But anyways, that's enough to
Done.
finish him off.
Okay.
So, and just as it starts, as the last one drops, all of you are panting. All of you basically covered in blood from something or the other.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
Melissa.
not covered in blood.
Me neither.
Oh yeah.
The sniper is never covered in blood.
You were above it all.
Well, panting, wide-eyed,
Sweaty.
yeah, sweaty, adrenaline rushing through your
And
system.
essentially plays the same role in every game.
The quiet sniper takes everyone out. So there's a polite knock on the door.
Can we look out the window and see who's in?
Can you do a polite knock, Ross?
Housekeeping.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
It's the.
It's our guys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I look out the window to make sure they're not being held against their will?
Yes.
Okay.
Good job. Yeah, they're not.
Okay.
A little paranoia doesn't hurt. So.
What in this game so far would serve to not make us paranoid?
It's only paranoid if they're not actually coming to get you.
Yeah. So they have something wrapped in a carpet or a blanket.
Canvas. We bought some canvas. We spent a freaking credit rating.
You
get a big roll of canvas.
You had a big roll of canvas. They bring
Contact
it in.
the Apostle Paul.
And then they say, let's just fill in the pit. So they have some quicklime, and
Weird.
you pour it over the bodies, and you all lose a point of athletics. As I guess everybody, to get the pit filled in as quickly as possible, helps cover it up.
In the words of Miss Frizzle,
I'm kind of on the ground, just sloshing dirt into the pit.
Everyone restores 2 health points. Your 2 guys help patch you up, so everyone can restore 2 health points.
Yay. That puts me on
0.
1.
Yeah.
I've also got first aid that I can use when we're in a resting place.
Yes, please.
Yes, please now.
I did not get hurt.
I'm on 1.
All right, 0.
We'll help in a minute.
So you
How about now? Now is also...
Can we use it whenever we want?
There's no time like the present.
Can we do
It's
it now?
first aid. That's
the what?
The first aid?
Yeah, you can do whatever.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, then I can give... I guess we can each give 3 points, right?
Yeah.
Yay, that's 6.
Bill, I'm going to say at this point, do you have mechanics or anything like that?
I've spent it, but I haven't.
You probably need to. Someone needs to spend a point of mechanics to fix your vest at some point, because it's
Taking a beating.
It's also like all the little plates you have in there are a little melted. They're a little out of shape. It's just terrible. You need.
Can I use my toolkit for that?
Ladies, the spirit is willing, but the vest is...
Yeah, the vest is melted. So.
I don't even know what that means, but it's
Neither
kind
do
of
I.
hilarious.
It is. So.
Gotta make some more water to put on that T-ball.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also cold.
The vest? It's both melted and cold. This vest is no longer made of ice cream.
Yeah, lukewarm. Anyway, so all of you are let out. Oko will meet you.
Do we get anything cool? Because we took out all the cultists pretty much. in
You
one
will.
sitting.
You get to meet old Bundari.
You know what I mean? Like something physical.
You're wanting treasure? This
Or,
is the
like-
wrong RPG.
Something like to help our abilities. Like we got experience or something. I don't know.
The Horde of Valhalla.
You will get. Well, I forgot to give you last session. You do get experience. You can either get 1 investigative skill point or 2 general ability points you can use.
I'm going to put 2 into scuffling.
Probably not a bad idea.
And it has to be something we already have, right? You can't.
No, you can gain a new ability.
Oh.
This is not a refresh. This is like experience. You've been learning
Okay.
something new.
All right.
You've also
These
had
were
like
for last session?
for up to now. Like I didn't give you anything at the end of last session, so.
What
Athletics.
was it that we're able to
6.
redistribute? Does that happen?
You can do that too. Just 1. I would. Well, you've also had a week-long ocean journey you could have used to refresh yourself.
Redistribute things.
Hello, Athletics. Soon, a higher hit rating will be mine.
Yeah, you probably want that.
The problem with being a melee fighter.
So you were led to the very edge of the city, where it's not even a shanty town anymore. They're just huts. It is or mud wall buildings roofed by bundled grasses and broad leaves. There are at this point it is almost dawn. Some people are beginning to stir. But most of them, they may notice you, but you're unusual, but they might eye you for a moment, but when they see where you're heading, they quickly, they seem to be used to strange visitors showing up at this particular hut. Okomi says, well, now that I know that you are truly enemies of the Bloody Tongue, and that I can tell you many things that old Bandari has told me. We must wait. This is his hut. I will lead you in there for you to wait for him to return. His body, his shell is here, but his mind is wandering at the moment. It is. He goes between. He is traveling to talk to apparently great spirits who have spoken to you.
Going
apparently.
up to the spirit in the sky.
Yeah. I know some things about the Bloody Tongue. I can tell you now that the massacre, the Carlyle massacre, was the result of evil magics, by which unnatural beasts were summoned from the other side to kill and carry off the victims.
So who is it who has friends on the other side?
Those carried off were brought to the Mountain of the Black Wind, a terrible place shunned by all people.
For the smell?
It is, because of the curse.
The curse of the smell.
Even the greatest spells cast against that place have no effect. It is so called because of the terrible god inhabits it. Once per year, he unleashes the Black Wind, which brings plague, famine, and disaster. To satisfy the god, the cult abducts villagers and sacrifices them. Then the god appears in all his terrible glory. He is nearly as tall as the mountain itself. He has no face. Only a blood-red tongue hangs down from where the top of his head would be. Monsters of all descriptions attend him. His mere sight can drive humans, people like us, mad. The priestess, she lives in the mountain. She was prophesied that their victory is near, and that they are, I do not know what, but some key element of this prophecy is being kept in the mountain. Old Bandar can tell you more about it. I can draw you a map leading you to the mountain. It is Old Bandar has very powerful magic, but even he cannot create something that can protect you there. There was a great sign, the Eye of Light and Darkness, which could forever chain the cruel god within his mountain, but I do not know where this sign is. I do not know if it has been lost for all time, or if perhaps you are destined to find it again. For more information, you'll have to wait for Old Bandari. It is my job to guard Bandari while he goes on his journeys. So Okoma leads you inside the hut. It has the smooth curves of a Maasai hut. It is larger and differently constructed, though. As you walk around, a gated fence surrounds it. Passing the door curtain, you realize his house is shaped like a snail's shell. The entrance passage winds all the way outside of the center single room before opening into it. The way is unlit, but everyone sees fetishes, signs, masks, and so forth arranged on both the inside and outside. Whitewashed walls of the passage in the central room, more such symbols can be identified. Those of you with a cult can easily identify warding magic, defensive magic, protection against curses and evil things. Across from the interior room is a small old man, sitting so still that for a moment he seems to be dead. Almost a minute later, you see his chest rise slightly, breathing slowly, far more slowly than any human who could still be alive could breathe. But at this point, you're pretty much rolling with these kind of things.
Yeah. Ain't no thing.
So you must sit and wait for him to return.
Good.
I can offer you small snacks and milk. He brings you some unshelled peanuts, some baked plantain, and milk. But please return. Please remain silent. You do not want to distract Old Bandari as he returns. It is a delicate process, and if he were to lose his concentration, he might be lost forever.
So any loud chewers, keep it to yourselves.
Pretty much. So you all wait, and you rest.
Why did you bring us celery?
So this isn't a full day of rest, as it takes 12 hours. But 12 hours of sitting on your ass actually seems pretty nice at this point in a hut. So everyone can refresh, I would say, 1 point of health, and
Hey, I'll take it.
as he also offers you some salve and salve to rub on your wounds, and some bandages, and I would say 3 points of physical things. Because even though it's resting, you still have to sit in the hut, being very still and just
Can we
wait.
disperse those 3 points? Mm-hmm. Good. So I'll get my stealth back, and then athletics and force.
So, as time passes, every once in a while, Okomu unfolds one of Blandari's legs and rubs it to keep the circulation going. But otherwise, very little happens. You do notice as your eyes grow accustomed to the dark, there's a small box behind old Bandari, or you can tell because there's a piece of cloth covering it, so you can't see what's inside of it. But it's a small box, maybe a foot aside. But twice, you see it move. Something is kept within it. You don't know. But eventually, you see his breathing, old Bandari's breathing becomes more rapid. His chest swells up as as life seems to come into it. And eventually his eyes open. He smiles slightly. Our friends have told us many things, and now that I can see you are not impersonators or agents of destruction sent to sabotage our efforts.
Okay, when you qualify it like that.
Yeah. He is... there's much at stake. Our friends wish us... they are great spirits, and they wish to protect us from the efforts of the crawling and chaos. And our time is very desperate. The bloody tongue grows arrogant. People across the land disappear into the mountains, stolen by the cult for a horrible sacrifice to come. Leaders are brought low by corrupt thoughts and deeds. Many of us pray to stave off this evil. If you have courage, I can help you. So tell me your story. So at this point,
Give him the exposition.
Yes. So I assume you tell him everything, right? Pretty much. All right.
Yeah.
If he's in contact with the Yithians, then he can pretty much find out everything anyway.
Yeah, but the Yithians aren't so much on details. The things they say can be kind of cryptic. So having another human explain, we went here and we shot these guys, and then these guys were doing this.
That's what they were talking about on Tuesday.
Yeah. When you mention the poor Eloise, so cursed.
Yeah.
Werewolf girl.
Yes, werewolf girl. He says, there is another evil here. I've heard of this kind of curse before, and in fact, years ago, I had something that could remove it because the priestess had cursed many maidens in this land with this, and I figured out a way to remove it, but it was stolen from me.
Girls. She just cursed the girls.
Yes, she was very jealous of those who would. She believed she wanted to protect her position because the bloody tongue was always led by a priestess, and she also was jealous of anyone who claimed to be more beautiful or wiser or had anything. She is not a very good person, as you can imagine. But the fetish I used to cure this was stolen from me. You see, what I've learned is the bloody tongue is only one aspect of a greater evil, of the crawling chaos, and there are many cults devoted to it, many groups. There was one group from India. Mr. Singh, I believe, was a leader of it. The small crawler, I believe.
Oh,
yeah. The box makes a sound.
say, Ross. Unfortunately, cosmic horror cannot compete with cute.
Yes, there is a puppy in the room.
That was a puppy yawn.
That was a puppy yawn. So, Old Bandari tells you.
Oh, yeah. Took care of that, by the way. There were apparently some spirits of children and skeletons that wanted me to release them.
Well, Mr. Singh is maybe gone, but he was not the only worshiper of this aspect.
Sure.
In Nairobi, there was another man he did business with, something Okomu and Mr. Kenyatta have kept eyes on, but we have not. We are not in a position to act on it. There's a man, Mr. Corbitt, who is a businessman, and I believe there was something about this prophecy there was some act or something that they had to do that was key to their upcoming ritual, and. I believe what happened was the cult of the small cross says, "Oh, we can perform this preparation in accordance with the great ritual," and they did, but there was some sort of failure or it was not quite what was the prophecy wanted. So now the priestess Ryu is preparing to outdo the cult of the small crawler to show her that they can do. So whatever Mr. Corbitt has done, Ryu will do even worse, even greater.
Blackjack, hookers, forget the prophecy.
Yes, but this Mr. Corbitt is lingering in our city, and
no, Mr. Payton, I expect you to die.
For helping get rid of the cult of the Bloody Tongue within the city, at least for a time, I will give you one item of power to help you in your quest. No, it is a defensive item. He takes out a ebony fly whisk carved with QU symbols. As I mentioned in the last session, the fly whisk is thought of as a defense against evil spirits because they often take the form of flies. He hands it out. Which of you will take it?
What does it do?
It helps protect against evil and help to locate hidden evil. I would ask for you before you leave for the Mountain of the Black Wind for you to go to Mr. Corbitt's house and to find whatever evil he has perpetrated and destroy it. Because I believe it is keeping it. He keeps it there. The box makes another sound. If you wait, by the time you're done, I believe I will have another gift for you. And the cure for this woman is kept in the house, I believe. But of course, it is your turn. It is your decision, of course. Okomu can show you where the house is, but we are not able to go near it because it is not for natives to go near those kind of houses. But if you can find out more information about the Bloody Tongue.
For more information,
yes.
Library.
And in a few days, I can prepare. I have a friend I can send you on your journey with. Another gift for you.
Send me on my way.
Yeah. And I've noticed. Our friends told me that you had artifacts that you had found.
Yes.
There was one I believe you were not aware of, the incense cones you took from Mr. Singh.
Yes.
They grant visions of other times and of other places, possible futures, possible pasts of other realms. I believe because of how... I believe if you were to breathe in this incense, you would have visions that might grant you information about what is to happen or what has happened.
Little from column A, little from column B.
Yeah. So it is. So I
It depends on how you light the incense.
Yeah. So that is something else.
Got to think positive thoughts.
The dream plate, obviously, you already know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about the mirror?
Yes. I do not. I can provide the formulas if you were wish to use such a dangerous weapon.
What about destroying the mirror? Do you have any ideas on that?
There is a way to destroy it, yes.
Can you give us all of this stuff written down so that we can pursue all options if necessary?
If you give me one of the incense cones, it will provide... I can imbue it, I can link it to the mirror so that you would gain all the information you would ever want to know about the mirror, how it works, how to destroy it.
Okay, sure.
That will take some time.
It's not...
Nah, it's fine.
So leave the mirror on one of the incense cones here, and I will do this.
Okay. Done.
It's a thriller. The currency is information.
Yes. All right, so you hand over the mirror and one of the incense cones. There are 3 left, I believe. Let me just double check. And with that in mind, let's see here.
You go against the call.
Actually, no, there are more. You guys have 7 left.
Damn!
Yeah.
Different than 3.
Yep. So,
Crazy drugs up in here.
so Okomu tells you the address. It is a house at the edge of the city in a very nice neighborhood. It is not quite a plantation house, but there is in a neighborhood where, sort of in a neighborhood where houses are kept pretty far apart, and there's nice gardens. And if he tells you that there's a garden, Okomu tells you more about it. Mr. Corbitt goes to the dump late at nights at times, where he takes home bags that are. Once one of my people saw another person drop one of these bags off. The bag,
It's a dead drop.
yes. Funny you say dead. The bag had limbs in it.
There we go. It's a dead drop.
Organs, human organs. We believe that somehow he is able to get things from the hospital. To what purpose? He's been here for years.
Did you guys remember to feed the cannibal?
But it is an evil that we have been monitoring, but we are unable to act on because we lack certain resources that you...
Boom sticks?
Well, your
he's
skin
afraid of
color...
skin tone.
Yes. You are a little more agreeable to the authorities than
Which
we are.
means we can have boom sticks.
Again, I have told you how to get
Not
boom sticks.
necessary.
Please just disregard.
But even though the houses are far apart,
He's Irish. He doesn't know what he's saying.
the explosions would be heard, and certainly
Down
the
with
fetish,
British pigs.
which he describes to you, so any of you would be able to recognize it. The thing that would be able to cure Eloise is in that house somewhere. So apparently, all you know is Mr. Corbitt, taken body parts for years into his house for what unknown purposes.
Does he also have a...
And also on Bandari can tell there's really bad mojo surrounding him. And he apparently has some sort of ties to India and has been seen meeting Mr. Singh before.
Is he British?
Yes.
There's the ties to India.
You can do anybody with library use or something like or bureaucracy or accounting. Can do basic research on him.
I will do bureaucracy.
Okay. Well, the point's been Mr. Corbitt is an importer-exporter. He especially exports. He imports tea from India to Kenya, and he also exports coffee from Kenya to the rest of the world. So he takes a lot of trips to India. Surprisingly enough, well-to-do businessman, used to be in med school, but
I'm thinking fleshy golem.
Not trying to decide beforehand.
yeah. So let's see here. What can you get out? Let's see. You can find some stories about him. You find out he is a widower. His wife died at childbirth. So did the child several years ago. Nurse hospitalized in accident in patient's home. A nurse was admitted to a sanitarium yesterday following an accident that took place at the patient's home, Mr. Corbitt's home. Her condition was diagnosed as serious. Miss Dunlap, hired by Mr. and Mrs. Bernard Corbitt to help with Miss Corbitt's confinement, apparently suffered a stroke while attempting to deliver the baby unassisted. Mr. Corbitt returned home from his office Wednesday to find the nurse and his wife and infant son, the nurse unconscious and wife and infant son dead due to complications of the birth. Doctors at the sanitarium say the woman is yet to regain consciousness and it be sometime. Actually, this was dated 12 years ago, sorry.
Right.
So, let's see here. What else? Also, it is also learned that his father, Theodore Corbitt, owner of Corbitt Enterprises, is dead. This again, 14 years ago, victim of a tragic accident while vacationing in India. Corbitt, while in the company of his son Bernard, died in a fall while the two were traveling through the high mountains of the Punjab. According to authorities, the two men were on a hiking trip where they were set upon by a group of bandits known to frequent the area. While being pursued down the mountainside, the elder Corbitt apparently lost his footing and fell to his death. His son managed to escape eventually making it to safety. The elder Corbitt's body has not yet been located, and authorities fear it may be lost, possibly consumed by the wild dogs that roam the mountain. Theodore Corbitt is survived by his wife, Elaine, and his son, Bernard. At this time, it is not known if Bernard will take over the management of Corbitt Enterprises. He did. Yeah, he left med school shortly after that and took over.
So now it's not Corbitt and Corbitt, it's just Corbitt.
It was Corbitt Enterprises, so...
It was never Corbitt. He was in med school.
Yeah. That is what you find out. He is currently away on a business trip or a trip to India. So you also find that out. So yeah, you can do whatever you want. I can show you. In fact, you guys can look outside on the sidewalk outside his house.
Was that also what library use would have gotten?
Yeah, it's at home address and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I shan't spend another point to get the same information.
Yeah. Here, because this article is in a PDF, I can just show you a big old map of it. Let's see here. That is the Corbitt house outside. There's a sidewalk, there's a Corbitt house, there is a vegetable garden and a greenhouse, and then there are trees around it that he planted. So that is the layout.
They're not trees, are they, for us? It's never a tree.
You're so paranoid.
Sometimes it's just a tree.
Not paranoia, it's called cynicism, Ross.
Well, they look like trees during the daylight.
Just decide whether this is going more Dunwich or thing on the doorstep.
So yeah, this is an optional thing. You'll get more information and more help.
And potentially a cure for Eloise?
And
Can
yes.
we just airmail the cure to Eloise, or do we have to go all the frickin' way back to London?
Oh, you can make arrangements to have it special delivered to her.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Friends.
Yes, you have mutual friends.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about that. But yeah, so how do you want to approach it? He is gone right now. You could, of course...
sneak in while he's gone.
You
Yeah,
could
we
sneak
have
in
our
on it.
full quota of stealth, and we've been badassing it up on that area, so...
But can we get any idea what kind of household he maintains? Like, who could we reasonably expect
Servants,
to be
guards, etc.
in the house in his absence?
That's a good point.
If he's an importer-exporter regarding India, he probably has at least one manservant. I don't like the term, but
But
accurate for the
is
time.
that is his
he does have neighbors.
Guy
If you can
with-
come up with some cover story as to why you would ask about
And then
that.
he'll be with him at all.
Or you could case the place,
Won't.
watch it
He'll be
from
in
a
the
place of undetected by the police. There is a road in front of his house. It isn't, so there would be some traffic. So you could get a car and watch it from there, or hide in bushes across the street and see if anybody shows up, or ask neighbors.
Yeah,
They'll be suspicious if you don't have a good cover story. But
We could pose as someone could pose as the gardener who's coming to take care of the garden while he's out of town.
you could say that, yes.
They might know the gardener, though.
Yeah.
They might.
What, is there like a back entrance? Like not the main door? Like a kitchen entrance?
Yes.
I'm sure there's another exterior.
As you can see here, front entrance, back entrance.
Okay. So what if I disguise myself and go posed as looking for a job? Because I could do that.
What kind of job?
As a maid.
Okay,
Or a
yeah.
cook.
Sure.
Yeah.
So just knock on the front door, then walk around to the back, and that's your cover story if somebody finds you?
Now I'm going to knock on the back. Because if they
Okay.
if there's servants there, that's where they'd be.
Sure. Are you going...
disguise?
I have 8 points of disguise.
What's your cherry on 8 points of disguise?
I forgot to bring Knight's Black Agent with me.
I thought we were using the
Oh yeah, the Cthulhu ones.
the Pelgrane, yeah.
I think we're using both, because why not? And I don't know if there is one for disguise or not. It's on their website if somebody wants to Google Trail of Cthulhu.
Cherries.
Yeah.
I know there's one on Filch, which I also have, but
Have a puppet.
I feel like it was something like you could come up with an alternate identity that was already set up.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Something like that.
Oh,
Wow.
right, yeah.
Good, yeah, good job remembering. So yeah, you could do that. I mean,
Oh, she doesn't she have it?
it would be a simple stealth check to get to the house without anyone noticing you. Like I said, there is some traffic, there are some people, but there's certainly windows of opportunity for you to run across the street and get by.
We could stake it out for a day, see if there's any movements first.
Okay.
You could do that. That would be a group stealth test to find a place to set up and then take turns, reading
on the
the
cup.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, if you want to have a car, you need a point of credit rating to get one.
Car would just attract attention.
Yeah.
There's not many automobiles in East
There are
Africa
not.
by this point.
This neighborhood does have electricity, though. And in fact, does anybody have any sort of technical skills?
Explosives.
That is a technical skill.
I've got mechanical repair. It's spent, but I've got it.
Okay. You can make it just a base roll.
4.
His house is wired for electricity, you can tell that much.
Okay.
So
obviously we're, there's an alternative cover.
repairman.
We're repairing the lines. They were damaged in the storm.
At this point, we
Was
would
there a
have to be
storm?
government
An American
officials.
would.
Government officials would be required for repairing the electrical line. So it would have to be folks with a British cover.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if we use something like
I'm just saying.
disguise, could
Yeah.
we use that to disguise our voice, for instance,
Sure.
if we wanted to sound British?
Yes.
I
Definitely.
mean, maybe Melissa.
Irish is
passes
close
British,
enough
but-
in East
Yeah.
Africa.
Definitely, yes. Wait a minute, that brogue is off. Call the police. Yes, that would definitely work.
Okay.
Yeah, Sean doesn't have to make a roll. The rest of you can make a disguise check, and that's if you actually get approached.
Right.
If you just get, you could make a disguise check to get appropriate uniforms, and the two women could just, oh, I'm just a small guy,
Don't mind me.
yeah,
Fake mustaches.
yeah, fake mustaches, basically.
We have disguised ourselves.
Okay, but let's do the stakeout first. I want to see if there's any movements to speak
Yeah, we
of.
may
Alright.
not even have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So that's a group stealth check.
Okay.
I'll throw one.
I can do that too.
So will I.
Okay, so that's +3.
You hold it.
6.
Yeah, easily. The lights stay. The lights turn on for a little bit and then turn off, kind of erratically, a few times during the night. But other than that, no one approaches it. No one's inside the house.
No one leaves the house.
No one leaves the house.
Okay.
You thought you saw movement in there. It's hard to tell because again, you had to go across the street.
Okay.
But you definitely saw the kitchen lights or something go on and off. You're not quite sure. Anyway.
Just while I'm doing my shift on the stakeout,
Yeah.
is there anything like 0-point-ish architecture about, does anything seem odd about the construction of the house?
Well, for 0 points, you can tell it has a basement.
Okay.
It's 2 stories. Pretty good colonial architecture. It's well built, well maintained.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to make a spin to figure anything else out.
Okay, but there is something there to be derived.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you. I'm not gonna have you waste points,
Right.
sort of philosophy with me. So
Well, and the game.
yeah, that too. You spend a point, you get nothing. Screw you. Anyways, you're wasting.
Save that for purist games.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it doesn't really. Technically, everything's a waste of a purist game because it's a purist game. Nothing matters.
Anyway, I stare at the foundation.
So you spend a point?
Yeah.
All right. You actually realize you see cables and you can see buildup along where the ground meets the edge of the basement, and you can tell there's heavy equipment built into the basement.
I use operate heavy machinery.
You're not an engineer. You can't tell exactly what it is, but something that have unusual power requirements. Something that might require chemicals or feeds or
This probably
pipes or
just wasn't fresh enough.
something like that. So there's a lot going down in the basement. You're not quite sure what it is, but he has a lot of.
Not quite sure why that's a surprise.
Well, for Nairobi, this is extremely.
Well, yeah, sorry. Yeah, metatextually.
Yeah, metatextually, yeah. No, it's gonna be fun.
Now, do you wish we had boom boom sticks?
No, because then we would have to,
You wouldn't get clues.
yeah,
Anyway,
or resolve the other side plot. Like, if your solution is dynamite it, then we might as well just not participate in the side adventure.
well, you get something for. I mean, Bundari. If you stop the evil that's in the house, whatever it is, Bundari will give you additional gifts. But you wouldn't get it. I mean, he says he knows there's been an evil festering in this city for a while, and he can't do anything about it because he and all his people are black, and they would be shot if they got near the house.
Speaking of which, that was a weird segue. Anybody up for some recreational drug use?
Oh yeah, the incense guns.
Light him up.
You just want to use one each to have a vision?
We're using the special one.
Special one will take it. Oh, actually, I did say it would take a day, and you spend a day casing the place. So yeah, you.
How do I mirror, Ross? How do I mirror?
So are all of you going to do it, or are just one of you going to do it?
At least one of us should be paying attention while the rest of all
I know.
of us.
I kind of figured that would probably
Who's
be
the most morally opposed to recreational drugs?
Not the Chinese lady.
Yeah.
Who
Not
has
the
the big
Dilettante.
ass gun?
Also a good choice.
All right.
Okay, you
Last
stand
time
guard
you smoked
while we
something,
smoke
it
it
was
up.
too weird.
This is good. Anyways,
All right, Ross.
so you.
RPPR drug use scene. Go.
Hey man, that's like every game with close space. Murder. But of course, that's usually just murder and combat drugs.
Yeah.
So you're taking it. You're smoking it. Are you going to as well? You're staying outside, obviously.
Well, it's
so-
incense, so we're lighting it. So wouldn't we just use one and everyone else be around it?
That's what I mean. Are you going to be inside the room smoking or breathing?
We are the sweat lodge.
All right, yeah, you're in the sweat lodge. That's a good image. All right.
I pull out my sitar.
So you take the one as you breathe of the incense that has been linked to the mirror. Each of you, first off, give me stability checks.
Oh man.
Really? That's surprising.
3.
All right.
3.
Okay. 6. You're fine. It's fine. You two.
Margot's like, this is nothing like that time in Atlantic City.
Yeah, well, that time with Sylvie. That lost weekend with Sylvie. So, with that bathtub gin really packed, had a kick. So, as you breathe in, the world or the walls around you start refracting like a mirror. As everything turns a mirror, looking in on itself. And you two feel lost for a moment. Both of you lose 2 stability as you feel sensation of falling through a mirror, into another mirror, infinitely reflecting and refracting in onto itself. But then it stops, and you seem to hit the floor or the ground. You wake up, or you open your eyes, and you find yourselves in an alchemist shop. You just know it's an alchemist shop, and you see the mirror in a medieval. The alchemist shop. There's a man working on it. Adding a gilded edge around it. The mirror itself is plain. The gilding and the other elements are added later. As you see him working on it, there's something at the edge of the room talking him through it. You don't want to look at it. But you also see an open tome by him. All 3 of you can tell that the thing at the corner that you can't really see at the edge of your vision is explaining what the mirror is, or the metaphysics behind it. The tome has the recipes on it. So, what do you want to look at? The tome for the recipes, or do you want to listen to the thing to find out its true origin?
Well, can we each do a different thing?
You each can do a different thing.
I'll read the tome.
I'll listen to the thing.
Okay, what about you, Ann? Or you could look at something else in the room. I mean, it is an alchemist workshop. There's the alchemist there. You could look out the window to see where he's in, or you can do something else. I mean, those are the 2 most obvious actions.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I guess I'll also look at the tone.
okay. Those of you, all of you make stability checks, obviously. Yes.
2.
I'll spend one this time. I'll pass.
Those of you who look at the tome and fail, lose 1.
Did I fail?
No.
If you failed. As you read the instructions and you find out, you somehow can read. It's disconcerting because you realize you can read this crabbed handwriting as your native language, even though it's like a coded medieval French transcribed with a cipher that's part Latin, part some other language. It's
fine.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's like English to you. And why is this knowledge in my head? But okay, you're reading.
It's a dream. It's fine.
Yeah. So the knowledge of the recipes on how to use it as a scrying mirror and as a weapon are burned into your mind. You though, you turn your head towards the thing in the corner, and at first it's just like this distorted image, as just all of reality sort of blurs together around you. But then there's a sharp pain in your head. You blink again, and there's just a man. It's like a silhouette, but 3-dimensional.
Stephen Halsey's.
Yes. He actually, funny you mentioned that. And for a moment, it seems to be looking in your direction, and then it speaks. You're not sure what language, but you understand it. Is someone there? Did someone want to see behind the mirror? Did you want to see? I can't quite see you yet. You're being so silent, so shy. Please say something. What? Do you say anything? Do you remain silent?
Something.
It snaps in your direction. I'm beginning to see you. You really want to see it. You really want to... how far do you want to go? I can show you such great things, such wonderful things.
Getting to know.
Getting to know.
So at this point... but as you're looking at him, you can see the mirror is also behind him and in front of him. He is the mirror. The mirror is him. It is the universe things are refracting about.
The key and the gate.
It is it's not a mirror. It's a portal. It's a device. It's a crystal. You can keep listening, try to talk to him.
Or a metaphor.
Or you could go through the mirror itself.
Hell no.
So what are you going to do?
I'm just going to hang out.
Okay.
The limit has been found.
All right. So when you say nothing else, he says, "Think you can? So you're trying to spy on me? You think you can stay there unseen and learn my secrets without paying a price?"
I'm just a curious party.
He snaps it. "Oh, I see you. You're faint. I see you. What did you want to know?"
Just... What do I want to know?
You're curious about the mirror. Did
Yes.
you want? Well, I can show you. Yeah. At this point, you realize, with your knowledge of Cthulhu mythos, he is working up his way to offer you a deal. That if you want something, you'll have to pay something to learn how to destroy the mirror. But you also realize he is, of course, a trickster. He's going to try and get you out. You could just learn how to destroy the mirror if you just went through the portal yourself. So do you want to pay now or do you want to pay later? If you want to pay now, you go through the portal. If you want to pay later, you make the deal.
Ask him if he can build layaways.
What do I get the sense of? Can I find out what the terms of the deal are? And then
They will be catastrophic because he will know what you are trying to do or what your ultimate goal is, and he will try to destroy not just you, but your entire effort, everyone around you. He is the enemy.
All right, into the mirror then.
All right. You step through the mirror. The sound of glass scraping against glass, magnified 1,000 times, reverberates through your mind, through your soul. And finally, you fall through another portal, another vortex, until you come to a broken landscape. A volcano is in the distance. It is erupting. There is a temple ahead of you. It looks strangely familiar. You can't quite place it though, but you see robed figures in the temple. They don't seem to be aware of you.
What color are the robes?
If you want to make a stability check, or say actually, give me a stability check. As you realize what these robes are, and you will lose a point of sanity.
I'll spend 1 to still fail.
Okay. You lose 3 and 1 sanity. As you realize you are back in time, at the time of you're reminded of the descriptions that the late priest told you of, the ancient civilization.
The snake men.
Yes, the serpent people. And they are gathered. Their civilization is collapsing because, hey, volcanoes are erupting. The sky is black, and there are things falling out of just meteors or something. There are distant roars in the distance. Or distant roars, yeah. Redundant. You can tell the world is falling apart. The natural calamities or unnatural calamities, you're not quite sure what. Yeah, and other beings, entities, cults, empires are waging war. Other species are waging war upon them. They will soon be gone. So you head to the temple, and you see in the center of the temple there is a pool. It looks like mercury, of what appears to be mercury. And therein, you can see that they are trying to solidify it into the shape of a mirror. They are trying to forge a weapon to use to save themselves. And you realize, and at that moment, the pool of liquid, whatever it is, rises up, takes shape into the mirror itself. You see its fatal flaw. And you see that their hypergeometry, their science was not perfect in their desperation. And then you're snapped back to reality. And you're just dry heaving on the ground back in the hut. You realize that there is one way you can destroy it with the recipes that they have gathered. That you simply have the mirror scry upon itself. And then, while it is scrying upon itself, use its destructive power on itself. This will cause a feedback loop. That will, you're not quite sure what will happen, but it will be destroyed. So you have found the secret to destroy it.
People I will not tell about this.
So you two wake up. You both realize you're not quite sure where you found the paper, but you are writing things in medieval French or Latin in a code and a cipher, but you understand it perfectly.
Weird.
Yes. So both of you lose that point of sanity. You lose 1 additional sanity as the...
Shit!
You lose sanity. You lose sanity. And you lose
Everybody loses.
Well, you talked to the crawling chaos and you...
walked away.
Yeah.
Achievement unlocked.
But it saw you. When it sees you again, it's going to be pissed. Yeah.
Wait, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Outline, right?
Yeah. So now you've learned the secret of the mirror. All there is to know about it. You can use it as a weapon, or you could destroy it. And it might take out whatever's near it. So it could be basically a big mythos bomb if you were to activate it. But you would have to... Yeah, you would need a lot of rare alchemical ingredients. Certainly, Mr. Corbitt's house certainly sounds a lot more appealing. Someone like that might have weird things lying around. Because you both two. You know the formula, but you know it so well you realize you could use substitutes. You've mastered it at a level most mortals cannot even comprehend.
It's really synthetic magic at the end of the day.
Instead of cremated ashes, you can substitute flour.
Yeah, exactly. So that's good. But yeah, probably.
You can actually do this with like 3 cubic centimeters of mouse blood, but...
No, it's a little worse than that. But anyway, so that takes all night, as they are gone for hours. Sean, when they come out, they look like hell. You also, as the vapors leave, you think you see something shimmering in the darkness. Give me 1 stability check. You lose 1 stability.
Nah.
You thought it looked back at you. So,
Seriously, you should stop using drugs.
all right. So, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to know more, or do more research, or just kick in the door, screaming and shooting?
You don't know what there is in there to scream and shoot about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. I'm sure it's fine.
I mean, we could scry on it once we figure out what it is.
You could scry on it.
Or we could save that until we get to the Black Wind.
The what?
The scrying on the mirror.
No.
Oh.
Shortcut to what's in the
Gotcha.
house.
Okay, so you want to? Well, you need to prepare it. Let's look that up.
What is crap?
Magic looking.
Oh.
Spying like a
Mirror on the wall.
or a crystal ball.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's take a look here. I have to look up the size of the mirror again.
Tomatology tomming.
Didn't help.
Peeping tomatology.
Mirror. Here it is.
You lose a fate point.
So I'm a -2 now?
Yes.
Let's see here. I will say you need. You realize that you cannot make it with purely earthly materials. You will need something of the mythos to create a suitable ointment to activate either property of it. Let's see here.
So do we need snot of Yog-Sothoth or...
Yog's
Bile.
snot.
Yeah, that would work. That certainly any bit of a mythos deity would work, but that would be
Go figure.
yeah. You actually
What
let's
about
see.
an incense cone?
Oh yeah, actually yeah, you could use one of your incense cones. It would also take all day another credit rating point to get the chemical
Unguents.
stuff. Yes, and get a chemistry set ready to do it. And whoever makes it will have to make a stability check.
We're going to scry on whatever's in the basement.
Good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, the cone would work.
Forewarned is for crazy.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Mythos in a nutshell.
Yeah. All right. So who's making it?
All right, everybody, let's correlate some contents.
What do we
I
think?
guess.
Alchemical powder to run the
Who
mirror.
has the highest...
So you can use it to
I
magically
see.
spy on whatever's in
I
there.
got it.
I have 11.
You have 11 stability?
Wow.
You make it.
All right.
Winner, chicken dinner.
All right. You just lose 2. Because working with the incense cone, you have to burn small bits of it, and so you begin to have small visions, just things.
Did you create the puppy?
No, I put them outside. So
Okay.
So you just see the cosmos, and just like little vapor clouds. You see other worlds for moments, and
That green guy from the Flintstones.
yes, it's a little trippy. And at one point, you think you have scales instead of skin. That you have claws. That
That feels
you're not human. You've always been
Desert.
a thing from the other civilization. You're just pretending to be human, and you forgot. You're not really human. No. I had. So you snap out of it. Fortunately,
Also, Serpentmen secretly run the government.
Yes.
They are the Illuminati.
yes. So you have enough for one usage. It's not the best formula, but you have one usage. So who's going to actually use it? Any of you could use it. Basically, you just have to smear the ointment on it and then concentrate on what you want, and it will appear.
It's just the first thing that
is there a
popped in my
potential?
head.
There's no potential like
I used to
language
love them
issue
so much.
or right?
It's just looking at a thing.
Yeah.
You just have to know where you're looking at. So you know where the basement is. So you can. It's just a matter of focus.
I can use it again because I still have a lot of stability.
There you go.
All right.
Way to take one for the team.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Make a
time
stability
you're
check for using it.
Roll that die.
1.
You lose another 2
Man, those scales really got to you.
as you realize.
Death and
Hot in here, or is
bloodshed,
it just my blood?
no big deal. Looking in a mirror, lose 4 stability.
Well, this
you
is a
never
mirror
know.
that stops reflecting things and starts showing the basement. As you focus in on the basement, You can see that there is a lab in it with various chemicals stored in jars, including numerous beakers, retorts, mortars and pestles, and balances. Several dried plant specimens litter the table. On the other side of the room can be found a surgery table. Scalpels, catgut, needles, rib spreaders, clamps, and other implements are all stored in a large metal cabinet, which is a jar. You can hear the sound of an electric compressor. The lowest drawer gives off the faint draft. Like you can see sort of... you can begin to almost feel it. It must be colder in there. You can't open it. But you can. It's like the guy has a refrigerated cabinet in there.
You may want.
But then there's a closet or some sort of opening in the south of the lab that opens up, and then you hear a plaintive gurgling from the other side. You can stop this at any time, by the way, but.
Hold on.
There is, of course, an electric light bulb swinging back and forth slightly. And
How is it swinging?
You don't know.
There's a breeze from the refrigeration unit,
Yeah.
obviously.
But it seems somehow there's something moving from this room into the lab where your vision is centered. It's getting closer. You can hear this sort of gurgling sound. As you hear limbs trotting upon the dirt floor, but not two, more than two.
Kitty cat.
Damn it, Ross, is this your human centipede crossover?
This is, but then you see it all at once as it just steps into the light. You really need to make that stability check.
Don't forget you can spend.
Alright.
This is not going to be.
I'll spend one.
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
So
this is really bad. This is going to be 5 sanity, five stability. Five stability
No,
and
I'm
2
really
sanity. As you see it and you comprehend it.
Do you have a pretty picture for us,
Yes,
Ross?
we do.
Oh.
Ew, good.
There are dozens of human limbs on it. Different size, different skin tones. Some adult size, some child size. Centered around this mucusy thing that's moving forward.
which is supersized.
Which is as wide as it's several feet in diameter, and it's moving forward towards the room, towards your line of sight. As you realize these limbs were surgically grafted. It wasn't born like this, but the limbs were surgically grafted to it. You can see the needle.
The sutures?
Yeah, the sutures on just many of the limbs. Some of them freshly healed, some of them old, years old, fully healed over. It seems to be aware of the presence. I can't quite... Yeah, you're quite... It's sort of gasping around. It's getting closer. It invades your entire line of sight as you stand mute, horrified by it. As you're just almost hypnotized by it. So after you're stunned, horrified by seeing this thing move into the light, what do you do? Do you break the vision, or do you try to keep looking at it?
Go ahead and break it.
We're gonna
pass
pass
out.
out. We were gonna know what's down there.
Yeah, well, now you know what's down there.
I don't want to go down there.
You can tell it is, whatever it is a thing of meat, of flesh.
Do we have to scry it again to kill it, or has it acquired it as a target?
You'd have to use another incense cone to try and kill it. You're not sure if the mirror is designed to kill human-sized things. It may or may not work, or it may wound it, but it may not be able to finish it off.
What about bone solvent?
You don't have any bone solvent, and you don't know. Actually, that was the worst. One of the worst things about it is you saw the flesh of the center part was partially translucent. You could see some sort of skeletal structure within it. And then those stories about his late wife dying at childbirth. You wonder what happened. So that's why it's worth so much sanity. You know the full story. It is
Rosemary's Monster?
Could be. Someone like this probably kept a journal.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
He's in a
Yeah. It is a
game. Of course he kept a journal.
So, yeah. Fortunately, you stopped the vision before it started feeding on the stack of meat. I forgot to mention there was a slab of meat in the lab, off in a corner.
Fortunately, I'm pretty sure it has the same weakness as Professor X. Stairs.
It has legs.
They're just some of them
It
in the
didn't
wrong
look like it
place.
had eyes.
It did not have eyes, as far as you could tell.
So how does it sense?
You don't know.
When I saw the vision, was I like in the room?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, it's not like I saw it in the mirror.
No,
It was like
it was
being there.
it was like you. As you looked through the mirror, your eyes went like your vision became as though you were standing in the middle of the room,
Okay.
and you could look around, and you're beginning to have other sensory things. You could almost feel the cold. You could almost smell what was in there. You're actually pretty glad you didn't actually smell anything in that room. You're pretty sure. That room
would've
does
been
not
gross. Yeah.
smell things. It was leaking fluids. Yeah. So, our listener's home, by the way. This is from Mansions of Madness.
What?
Yeah. No, this
You
is
jumping into another damn book, Ross?
How many books are you bolting?
All
as many as I can. This is actually recommended in the companion for Mask and Nyarlathotep. It's like, here's a side adventure you could use, and I read. I'm like, yeah, it's a great one. But they have side adventures in Masks anyway, so I'm just substituting one for another one.
Yeah.
So to kill it, actually, and you have an outdoorsman, right?
I do. Well,
You could make a spend
to know how to kill it?
to get an idea on how to kill it.
Okay, sure.
You observed it. You saw it. It is a creature of flesh. It is not of earthly flesh, very earthly flesh, as it has been surgically grafted. You realize it might. It almost certainly has the same vulnerabilities as other flesh, including, aside from fire and firearms and explosives and whatnot, that thing needs to eat. You could possibly, if you could find the right kind of poison or something, you might be able to poison it, like any, vermin.
Fortunately, Africa.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually.
Yeah. But you have to go down in the basement and actually feed it.
What if we sent a snake down there?
No, but he has a greenhouse, right?
Yes.
What?
You think he
Careful,
grows
Sam.
poisonous?
Well, there's a couple of different succulents that would be grown in this section of East Africa as ornamentals by British colonialists. So,
Anybody with biology could you basically do botany checks or outdoorsman or anything like that. Any basically use or medicine.
Pharmacy?
Pharmacy would be perfect. You have to go. You can't spend it until you actually go to the greenhouse to see what's in there. But you could make pharmacy spends.
That night we'll go to the greenhouse.
All right, so you guys are going to the greenhouse.
We don't all need to go.
Okay, that's one. That's true.
I have the big damn gun. I'll go.
Right, but if we can come up with anything else, we would like to. So nothing goes in or out. What feeds it? Because surely it's got to eat a lot.
Corbitt only goes on short business trips. He probably left a big slab of meat there for it to feast on.
Oh yeah, the meat slab.
Yeah. Well, he goes to the dumpster.
Water the plants, feed the man-eating monster,
So,
stop
Normal
the mail.
so what do you guys want to do?
Gotta sneak up to the greenhouse.
All right, is anybody going with Bill?
Big damn gun.
Okay.
I should go because
You
I
actually
know the
first.
basement the best.
This is your...
Well, this is just
He has a prize.
what.
That's okay.
Yeah,
This is just recon on the greenhouse. This isn't necessarily like.
Oh, okay. Then you guys can go by yourself.
I mean, why are we reconning the greenhouse? Surely between that, I mean, do we have to do it there, or can we puzzle out a reasonable poison just on?
Some of them are native to the region, so we could just look.
Actually, you saw his lab too, and you could tell that he had, alchemical ingredients, something that you couldn't buy or acquire legally or at all. Someone like this guy would have to get it from a mythosaurus, so he might grow his own,
All right, fine.
sorcerous ingredients. So you might find something unnatural in the greenhouse that would be better than any conventional poison.
Okay.
If you just want poison, like, you can get cyanide and...
Spend 2 points of stealth
Okay, are you going as well,
for 4.
Sean?
Yeah, are we doing a group one or just?
Well, I mean, that's basically group 1. 4 is enough. I mean,
Okay.
there's no guard. People are pretty distant. You're
We
going
approach
to
from the back because trees, etc.
Yep.
etc.
So you find the greenhouse. It is unlocked, of course, because why would it be locked? So you open it up. You have an electric torch, I assume, to shine it on because it's, dark otherwise.
Yeah. Okay.
well, there's plants. I'm pretty sure that they're
What
plants.
phase of the moon is it?
Yeah, I could look it up. It is February.
No, it's fine.
It's
It's
been
fine. Don't
4
worry.
days since the last session, so I think it's like February 25th.
fine.
Yeah,
Don't worry
I'm not going to get that pedantic. So you look in there. You could see it is a very. So you can give me that pharmacy spin, or botany, or biology, or
Botany's not a
outdoorsman.
thing, but yeah. Pharmacy.
Yeah, biology. I'll put it in there. Do you have any relevant skills, Sean, to identify what's going on in there?
Cthulhu mythos,
Actually, you can give me a sense trouble check.
It's the fungi from Yoga.
evidence collection.
Huh? You can give me a sense trouble check.
I will do that and spend 1.
Okay.
7.
You see. Well, first off, Bill, you look around. You can recognize. You're not a botanist, but you do recognize poisonous plants, and you actually recognize several very exotic plants, even for Africa. There are coca plants. There's cannabis bushes. There's foxglove. There's fly algaric and deadly nightshade.
Oh my gosh.
This guy likes his poisons and hallucinogens and drugs.
kidding.
Yeah. And then there are 2 points with Sean. You recognize 2 points that have no resemblance of any earthly species. They're not even orange vine. That's not a thing. Bright orange vines. Yeah, there's that in the corner. And there's also a purple flower in the other corner of it, with spiky blue-green leaves and a large, fleshy white and purple flower. But it sort of the leaves start shimmering, like the edges of the leaves like suddenly glow just. With a 7, you can see that they glow red for a moment as you sort of walk around them. They seem to be activated by your presence or something. You're
Cheap out of heat.
yeah. And with a 7, you begin to see just a barely perceptible stream of gas or mist coming from the leaves.
Everybody out. Everybody out now.
Don't breathe in.
So you rush away from it. You could try and grab something real quick before you leave.
Okay.
What do you want to grab? You do see several poisonous things, like
Orange
deadly
vine
nightshade.
and foxglove. Mix the 2.
Grab the nightshade
Isn't foxglove more poisonous?
And I know.
Digitalis normally is
at
more.
large doses.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you
Foxglove
grab a bunch of
and
stuff,
orange vine.
and I will say you have gloves on. I'm not going to be that
Well,
much
yeah.
of a jerk. You didn't have gloves on. You didn't say you had gloves on. You.
You die.
That's really in the spirit of trail.
Yeah. So, trust me.
If you're gonna make me blow 3 points of preparedness on fucking gloves,
No. So you grab it. I mean, fingerprints are a thing, kind of, by the 1920s. So,
but in Kenya,
well, you're probably used to just wearing gloves on B&E jobs anyway. So,
Yeah.
In the States, in Britain.
so you get out. So you have your assortment of deadly things, including the orange vine.
like you do.
So yeah, what do you want to do?
Mash
Grab a
them together.
mortar and pestle, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
All right, so you leave, I guess.
Yeah.
We need to find
We
some
leave
meat.
with the leaves.
We know where there's meat.
Right. The meat hunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the meat hunk.
So you guys have been looking at this place. So you're going to do that night and come back, or are you going to wait until the next day?
Poison the meat hunk?
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to do it during the day.
I don't know if
Problem
we
is,
wanna
we're
do it
probably
during
going to
the
run
night.
out of time.
You don't know when Corbitt's coming back.
Yeah.
Right, we don't.
Well, why can't we do it the same night that we got the plants?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Reconvene
All right.
in
Yeah.
the trees.
All right. So meanwhile, you guys, I'll just say, you guys could have been B team with the mortar and pestle and the meat, I guess. So you can give me a preparedness check to see how much you grabbed or what kind of quality meat you got.
Me or them?
Well, these
I'll
two.
spend.
No, you're
Not
with
you.
me.
Okay.
Them.
Yeah.
And do you want to
Team meat.
roll? I'll add 2 preparedness.
Okay. With a 4, you get raw steak, and a couple of them, and you have a mortar and pestle. It was the one you used, but yeah, you cleaned it out. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, it might be hazardous to their health. It's like poison. It's not like
Right.
You have to worry too much about safety. So you mix it all together and dose the meat with it. And I say since you already spent a point of pharmacy on that to identify some of the things, it's not too hard to do it. How do you just want to? Well, actually, the question is how subtle do you want to be, or do you just want to dose it basically load it to the gills with poison, or do you want to keep it kind of subtle?
Well,
From a rating of 1 to 6, how much poison are you
11.
putting in there?
I was going to say split the middle.
So
Do
3
like a 4.
or 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So 4, leaning a little on the heavier side. So, okay. So you have that. You have it wrapped up, ready
You're
to
still
go.
wearing gloves because we don't know what the orange
Obviously.
thing is.
Yeah. So you guys are in the trees, or near the house, I guess. Crouched down. A car passes by. No one notices you. So what's your next move?
There won't be another car for another month, so
Is
we should
there
be.
a window leading straight to the basement, or is the only way into the basement that we can tell from inside the house?
There are windows. There are actually. Actually, I will say you got to see pretty much the entire thing, Anne, because it was small. So I'll give you the little map. So here is the front. That is the back.
Room for
And these
baby.
little things are, guess what that was. These are the windows. They're crawl space windows, though.
Yeah, so they're pretty tiny.
Yeah, you would have to crawl into them, and you'd be totally vulnerable while you were crawling in.
Where
there.
did I see
Couldn't we
the
just throw
You were in the lab, and it came out of this room in there. But you saw into the workroom, and you could see the utilities and laundry pretty easily. Staircase leading down. You think that meets up in the kitchen or dining room area towards the back. These are back stairs.
So those are outside of the house, leading down
yeah.
into the basement.
Yep. So, yeah. Anyways. So, yeah, there are windows. There's nothing... you're on the right side over here. So you could get to the window there, but all the other windows are facing the front, towards the street or the side. This is the only one that's really safe from the street. So, you could do that. You could just pop it open, throw it in there. You didn't
Well,
see
were
any...
all those doors open? I'm assuming since I could see through to them.
Yeah.
So the creature could get over there.
Yeah.
'Cause it
The
could
creature
run
seemed to
through.
be able to maneuver around. It was able to push its way through doors. It was kind of a tight fit, but it seemed to squeeze through there. So,
I mean, do we
It's
want
got
to
the heart
look
of a
in the house
champion.
at all for this cure for Eloise?
yes.
And
Yeah.
his journal,
Yeah.
So we want
So
to do that after the monster?
Yeah. Monster dead, then we
Then
get
research.
things. Because
Or at
doors
least
are
better.
open, stairs.
well, we don't
I
know if we
imagine
could get
it can go
upstairs. Like,
It has like
Door.
100 legs and
I mean,
500
like,
arms.
if
It's
the
gonna
door's
get up the
locked,
freaking
or-
stairs.
why would this guy make it so his weird monster could just have free reign of his house?
who's been turning on the lights?
Oh, that's true. So we must have eyes.
Anyway.
I mean,
Let's just chuck it in a window.
yeah, depending on how strong it is, well, we could establish visual, throw it to it, run back up, close the door, or close and lock the door at the top of the stairs. I mean, if it's that wide, surely it's not going to be too great at battering down the door.
Probably not.
What do you have, Meredith?
Just throw the
I'll go
meat
for
down
that.
so it dies. I want it dead.
Or at least not that.
Kill it now.
Kill it.
Yeah.
All right, so you going to use
We
the...
do not have a good track record with the large monsters, other than the fire thingy. So,
Are you going to go into the first floor and go down, or are you going to try and enter from the outside of the building?
can't we just chuck it through the window?
Yeah, you can check it through the window.
But
Yeah.
the only one that isn't visible from the street is way far away from where it lives.
Yeah. Well, you could go to the workroom, which is next to the other room, which is on the side of the building. See this one? You could throw it in there. That's pretty close.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
There's no windows over the lab,
No.
so the
Right.
workroom's as close as we could get.
Yeah.
Yeah, short of going down the stairs, chucking it,
No, I
rushing
guess
back up the stairs.
The window, I'm guessing we'd have to break if it's a storm window. I don't think
That would be a stealth check, a mechanics check, or spin a point of locksmith.
Done.
Which one? Locksmith?
Locksmith.
Yeah, you can pop it open.
Okay.
That's better because then we can close.
But wait,
behind
what
us.
about the rest of the house?
Well, that's your
We
choice.
haven't
the
tried
rest
the
of the
doors
house?
yet.
I also have one locksmith.
Yeah, so do I.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
We still
you
have two
pop that
more.
open.
Yep.
So in what order are you doing things? Are you throwing that in first?
Yes.
Pop it open the window, throw
Okay.
it in, lock the window behind
Right.
us.
Yeah.
Flashlight. Flick it around in the window.
Okay.
Attract attention of
Trying
the
to,
thing.
yeah.
Okay, you hear a scuffling sound.
Okay.
Scuttling.
feet.
Yeah. Very good
I
shot.
want to see this.
Bill, give me a sense trouble check.
I am out of sense trouble. I am being very careful to, like, not play it outside the...
I know.
Okay.
This is more like, this would be a luck check in Call of Cthulhu.
Right. This is, do I avert my eyes into...
Yes, it is. It
I
totally
do
is.
not.
Give me that stability check.
5.
Okay. You still lose a... Well, I'll be nice. You don't lose any sanity.
Thanks.
It's been described to you, and you just don't think about it. But it is... you just look at it for a moment, and you throw the stake in there. And you close the window behind you. It doesn't. You're not sure. You avert your eyes quickly, so you don't see it immediately go for it. It's just you saw it somewhere in the lab, just part of it, so you don't know if it's making a beeline for the stake or not.
Anybody else want to peek?
Anyways,
No?
I mean, if we want to know if we, achieved the
If it's
goal.
dead.
all right. So you've done that.
Well, let Anne look. She's already
Yeah,
seen
if
it.
I've already lost stability,
That's
would
true.
it matter if I saw it again?
That's true. No, it wouldn't.
Because I've seen it.
Yeah,
Like,
you've seen
was
it. You
really
have seen
there.
it.
Okay, I'll take a peek.
Okay. It starts heading for the stake. Give me a stealth check to avoid being detected by it, because you might distract it more than the stake.
Oh, okay. I'll put 2 into that.
Good
So
call.
5.
All right, with a 5, you manage to watch it without being noticed. It's sniffing around the area. It's eventually. You're waiting for it to eat the steak before you go into the house. Is that your plan? Or
I
are you
think we
gonna
want to see if it's going to go after it.
Yeah,
Nibble
looking
on
for
it, you know?
what happens.
Okay, so you are.
Ignoring the steak and
It sniffs around for a little bit. It's kind of not super focused. You get the sense it's not a mature organism. It's not an animal, but it's just kind of like. And then it notices the steak, and it scuttles towards it, and it unwraps it from its butcher paper. And then it just...
Our steak-
And then the sound it makes, though, when it consumes the steak, as you see its maw open up. And you see it's been implanted with human teeth. There are just rows and rows of jawbones in there.
Oh boy, more
Give
horrors.
me a stability check for that. You're watching it feed. It's super gross.
1.
It's just one more point of stability.
I'm at 0.
Welcome to the club.
Feeling funny now.
All right. And then... for a moment, it kind of chews. Nothing happens, and then this sort of yellow orangish liquid starts pouring out of its mouth, and then it starts thrashing around, and then it slams into a concrete wall, and all of you hear that, and then it starts slamming around again. It works.
I'm a vegan.
It worked, but now it's making a shitload of noise. So, as it's thrashing around the building, look, it's obviously a lot stronger than you thought. You're really glad you didn't get into close combat with this thing. And one arm just peels off as it goes around a wall, and it just blood starts squirting out of it. Then this fluid starts squirting. It's incredibly disgusting. You just recoil in horror, so you don't see it, but all you can hear it thrashing around. It's destroying the basement. It's making noise. It's only a matter of time before someone else hears it.
Really? How close is his nearest neighbor?
Well, it's probably going to make more and more noise.
It's in the basement.
How close is his nearest neighbor?
It's one side. It's about 200 yards away.
And at some point, it's going to quit making noise when it dies.
Yeah, well...
How bad does it get before that?
Well, are you just waiting to see what happens?
No, if we're going to go in and...
Also, there are
thing.
cars driving by every once in a while, so... Anyway.
Probably loud cars.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Anyway, it's a nice part of Nairobi. This is also the pulp version of Nairobi.
Yeah, it's fiction. It's not simulation of
Play
real
that
life.
back.
Go
So
play
there shouldn't be
GURPS.
too many cars.
Anyways, I'm just
turn the
saying,
stereo on loud.
it's making noise. So, sooner or later, someone will hear it. Probably.
It's an emulation of a pulp genre. If
Yeah.
there's a car anywhere to be found, it's going to be driving by when
Right
something
here.
bad happens.
Anyway, so what are you guys going to do?
Okay, so are we going to try to pick up the stuff, the fetish to heal Eloise or whatever?
Yes.
Okay,
give it a
then we
shot.
need to do that post haste.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stealth check.
We're not going in there as a group. We need one, maybe two people.
Okay.
We at least need someone probably on the outside keeping watch.
Yeah.
And
I'll stay
probably more
outside.
than one person inside so we can split up.
Okay, I'll stay out and watch the front.
I have more stability than Anne, so I'll go inside.
I'm also on 0,
Fair enough.
but
Fair enough.
whatever.
Oh, well, do you want me to go in then and you stay out?
That'd be fine.
Okay, so
I
we'll
mean,
switch.
how's your searching for stuff abilities?
I have evidence collection.
I have
Okay,
evidence
whatever.
collection.
Sounds good. I already spent mine this go round, so.
All right,
Yeah,
so...
we'll keep watch.
all right, so someone pops the lock open with locksmith, I assume.
Yeah, I can do
So it
that.
needs to be
The
one
back
or two.
door is locked.
I'll spend locksmith.
All right, so you pop it open. People going inside, give me some trouble checks.
1.
I will
Fine.
spend one. 7.
Oh shit! Someone's in here. Someone's moving. You hear like,
Other than the creature?
yeah, you can hear it even over the creature. As you open the back door, you hear something coming from the. I'll show you the floor plan, which you can kind of tell pretty easily. You're in
Also,
the
it's
back room.
architecture.
You're in the kitchen area, but you hear something from around here, like
Do I still have my bow and arrow? I know it broke.
It
Dang
broke.
it.
She had one.
I am.
I have big damn gun.
Well, I don't want to use
Yeah,
the big damn gun.
you could have gotten another bow. They would've
Okay,
given you
I
that.
have one.
Really? The loud noise in the basement isn't going to drown out the big damn gun.
It will,
So I'm going to ready my bow.
okay.
I'm going to ready the big damn gun.
Okay.
Let me shoot first.
You hear it seems to be going this direction,
Oh, that's fine.
and then up. You hear
It's
up the stairs.
So it's like floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
There must be something important up there.
What are you gonna do?
Well, so can we kind of poke our head in each room and see?
So you're sweeping the first floor? Uh-huh. Okay. Let's see here. You can make a... let's see, you can use a cult or evidence collection.
Evidence collection.
Evidence collection.
There's a fireplace.
gonna spend yours?
We
I'll
could
spend.
put a fire, and it wouldn't be unreasonable for a house to catch on fire, right?
You could set a fire in the fireplace.
When we're done looking.
When you're done looking.
Yes, not right now. Now would be
Okay, so just 1 point.
With evidence collection, this will be good for the entire house, but you do see there are a number of books in the front room that are well thumbed through, and there are notice little notes. He has a bookshelf, but some books are clearly just there for show, and some books are actually the ones he does it. One is 20 Experiments in the Occult by Dr. Arthur Turnley.
That a boy can do with elements around the house.
Then there is a well-worn copy of True Magic with a K by Theophilus Wynne. Let's see here. And then a large, crudely fashioned book bound in cobra skin. You can tell it's cobra skin. Called the Key and the Gate. Well, actually, it's in Sanskrit, or I'll just say it's in Hindustani, so you don't know. It's a book in that, but it's in cobra skin, so that's probably relevant. So
I take them.
yeah, you take them.
Yoink.
Mine
Let's see here. There are also 14 leather-bound annual journals. The first one is dated, will correspond with the date of the accident in India where his father died.
Reaper's Digest.
Well, it's just a journal. So it's 14 volumes, so that'll take both of you to go out. So that takes several minutes to grab all those books and take them outside. I assume that's your plan. Or are you just going to leave them?
No, we're taking them.
We're taking everything.
You brought a satchel with you because you knew you were going to collect items.
There's 14 volumes, and each one seems to be a daily journal. He wrote a journal for every single day.
Okay.
So it would take more than one satchel to take all 14 of them, plus the other 3 books.
Probably mostly gibberish, but...
Well, you don't have time to look through them. They are in English, though, so... so that takes several minutes. The thrashing, there's now a wailing coming from the base. Down. As you can hear, and the building actually kind of shakes a little bit. Its death throes are pretty prolonged. And then you can actually see from as you're getting the books out, you can see the door to the basement is closed, but there's sort of an unearthly blue light coming from underneath the threshold, and there's another screeching sound.
I hope we don't have to go down there.
Something weird has happened. There's another sound coming from another monstrous sound, and then the sound of flesh tearing with flesh. You're not sure exactly what it is. Anyway, so that took you about 5 minutes to get all those, clear that up. So it's getting pretty noisy. So you can head up to the second floor, I guess.
So there's nothing that looks like a fetish on the first floor.
No.
Okay. Up to the second floor with
right.
the big damn gun.
Bow's still ready.
All right, so you head up to the second floor. Both of you give me sense trouble checks.
5.
Okay.
1.
This time you're on point. And you can tell the second floor, you look around, and here is the little floor plan of it. You're at the top of this stairs, and you hear a sound, more of that odd thumping sound coming from one of the empty bedrooms. But you can tell the larger bedroom is right there.
We go there first.
Okay, so you're ignoring the sound.
Maybe
I would actually say head towards the nursery. The fetish might be there.
Okay. So you're splitting up?
What do you want to do, Melissa?
I don't think
No,
we
we
should
should
split
stay
up.
as a group.
Okay, let's go to the nursery first.
All right, so you head down there. You're heading towards it. And as you're walking by, are you stealth or just running?
Stealthing.
Stealthing. Give me a stealth check. Group stealth check.
I will spend
1.
I will spend 1. So that's
Okay.
2 for 7.
All right. You sneak by. Whatever's in the empty bedroom doesn't notice you or doesn't react to your presence, and your instincts pay off. In the nursery, there is the fetish over an empty, dusty crib.
What is it?
It is a traditional Kikyu fetish, but you notice there is an elder sign on its base. It is also made of a material that at first you think it's wood, but no, it's fibrous, but not. It seems, and it's warm to the touch. It seems to sort of mold itself around your hand as you pick it up. So that's odd.
Mm-hmm. I take it anyway.
Yeah.
Put it in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As you sneak back, the door. As you're doing that, you grab it in the bag. The door in the empty bedroom that you were across from, the one where you heard the sound, you can hear it be flung open. You hear it thumping, as something's thumping in the hallway. You can't tell what it's doing, but you're in the nursery and your door's partially closed. So what are you going to do?
Ready gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aim bow at door.
Okay. Your door is closed. Do you want to open it, see what, or peek through it to see what's there?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, it seems, whatever it is, it seems to be moving up and down the hallway. kind of back and forth. You're not sure what.
Any
it's
chance we could get out via the window?
Sure.
We have the fetish. We don't really need anything else in the house. And I have a big pool of athletics left. So...
You hear a gurgling sound coming from the hallway.
Window!
I'm fine with that. So we open the window.
Okay.
We look down.
Yeah, second story on the ground.
Okay.
That would be an athletics check to climb down.
Okay.
Okay. I'm doing it. Spending 4.
It'd be a separate one.
Spending
7.
7? All right, you're down. You're fine.
Spend 3. So 7 as well.
All right, 7. Both of you get out. You. And then it comes after you, and it's got sharp puppy teeth. So at this point, the wailing, you see the lights in the house on either side of the street turn on, even though it's late at night. There's more growling, and the unearthly blue light.
Great improv.
Is coming. All of you, anybody looking at the house, can see an unearthly blue light coming from all the windows of the basement.
I'm not looking at the house. I'm running.
Okay.
Run away.
Yeah, we're done here.
We've got the fetish. We've got the book. Let's get out and die.
Pretty much.
All right. So the wailing, the building shakes again, and you can hear a keening cry as the thing is whatever's happening in there. It sounds almost like a battle, like it's fighting something. Whatever's in the basement. So
The power of Christ is compelling it.
well, that's one interpretation. Everyone, give me a fleeing check for you guys to get out of dodge or
What
stealth
about
check.
athletics?
Athletics, no, it would be fleeing.
Scuffling?
Stealth would work as well.
Scuffling is hitting
No, he
things.
said scuffling. Though.
No, a stealth.
No, stealth. I'll spend 2.
I'll
And get
spend
3.
1.
All right.
I'll spend a point. 6.
7 or 6.
2 fleeing.
All right.
For 8.
All right, you guys get out of Dodge before the first police car shows up.
Skippy.
Yes, as they, the poor patrolman, the building starts to shake and sink into the ground as the basement is being torn apart by 2 unnatural forces. The patrolman, in the distance, you hear a window break and a patrolman scream, a firearm being shot several times. It's still moving. And the but you guys don't look back to see what it was.
Run away.
That's a big old pile of nope.
You have slain it. You've gotten the books. You have gotten the fetish. So
We can read about it and find out what it was later.
yeah. So yeah, congratulations. The Mr. Corbitt comes back the next day.
Thoroughly confused.
There is a well, you don't know. Well, Komu tells you he comes back. The police have questions for him. You don't know exactly. There's no incident of this being recorded in the newspaper. So you get back to your hotel or to because hey, you killed all the cultists. You're fine for now. And
What's this like?
yeah, for now.
This is the first time I've slept in the same bed 2 nights in a row in a long time.
You still lock all the doors and keep watch yourself.
Well, yeah.
So you have a bunch of books to read, Mr. And you don't know exactly what happens next. To Mr. Corbitt, Akomu says he had somebody try to watch him, but he went to the house and then got lost. He got in his car and drove off and couldn't keep up with him. You don't know what the police are saying about him, or what they found out, or what they encountered. You do know. So yeah, we'll leave there as you guys can plan your next move. Or actually, what is your next move? Are you going to focus on the books? Rest. You could rest.
Yeah, peruse the books and the journals.
All right, so you can go back out to the abandoned plantation
And airmail the
Yeah, and
fetish.
airmail the fetish to
All right.
Eloise.
What about...
You can give it to Old Bundari. And Old Bundari says he has ways to get it to friends who will then get it to Eloise.
With the proper instructions.
With the
Speaking
proper-
of that, he promised us another helper if we...
Yes.
Give us a guide. And
As well, Akomu can arrange guides to take you there. But Old Bundari says there is another magic I have been working. he takes the cloth off the box behind him, the small box, and he pulls it off, and he reveals a small wooden cage for what appears to be a chameleon. Well, I mean, those of you that
A chameleon?
yeah, it's just a small chameleon. He picks it up very gingerly and says, "This is my friend, who is not what she seems. You may call her Who for short. Take her
call her
with
what?
you. Who?
What?
Who?
Very clever.
Don't break character.
Take her with you and feed her well
Fair base.
and daily with flies. She will protect you once, but not against magic. You need but open her cage and free her. Also note the flies you see will not come near her. They know she will catch them, so you will have to go. Someone will have to go out and catch flies for her.
Okay.
But she will appreciate. Do not keep her hungry. She
Doesn't like to be hungry.
no.
Well, bad things happen if she gets hungry.
It is a 3-horned
No,
chameleon.
that's if you feed them.
So he hands it to you. Who takes who?
I'll take. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he hands it to Anne's first.
Both of them want a familiar.
I have one in the other game.
So you have another thing. So who's carrying the fly whisk, by the way?
I probably will, just because in terms of detecting things, I tend to be the one doing the most
Yeah.
recon.
Okay. It will give you a +3 on sense trouble checks related to the occult.
And
And a +3 on opposed rolls when someone attempts hostile magic on you.
Over there.
You should have had it for this Mr. Corbett's house, but it didn't really
Yeah,
matter.
it didn't come up. Yeah.
Well, it helped. You guys rolled.
It would have, yeah. But
Well, the garden certainly would have mattered, but
It happens.
anyways.
Oh, yeah. She's got another one of these.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Okomu starts helping you plan your expedition because it will be a 4-day march through the wilderness to get to the mountain, to the base of the mountain. There are no roads. You could try and rent a truck, but he recommends against it because those draw attention.
We're going.
Yeah.
We don't need roads.
Yes. He says there is a village we could stop at to use as a base camp. The locals there, everyone is afraid of them, and they might have agents there, but you could pose as a normal expedition and until you get to the base of the mountain. There's also the corrupt ground, the place where the massacre happened. I don't know if you wish to look upon it yourself, but
Yep, probably oughta.
We have the whisk.
yeah. It is a useful tool, but do not think what will save you in the end is your own cunning strength and
As usual.
and modesty. Also,
Modesty is a
if there's
liability.
anyone else, so before the expedition will be next session, obviously. But was there anybody else you wanted to contact before in Nairobi? There was a couple people that they talked to on the way out. There was for example, the Carlyle Expedition talked to Dr. Horace Starrett.
And Roger Corrigan and Captain.
Corrigan.
Could I turn in a story to the newspaper about Kenyatta being a hero
You could.
and get a credit rating worth of stuff she did offer to
She
pay me?
reads it and she thanks you for it, but they decline publishing it. It's not what their editorial doesn't match with their editorial preferences. Weird.
Who is Corrigan or whatever his name was?
Corrigan, he is a colonial undersecretary for internal affairs. He also oversaw the investigation into the Carlyle massacre.
Yeah, we should probably do that
Yeah.
before we.
There's also Nails Nelson, a mercenary who apparently met up with Saul Brady in 1923.
Everything's fine.
Yes. So you could do that. There's also the expedition. Talk to a Neville Germain, who is a, let's see here, a barrister at Government House. So you're not sure why he talked to them or why they talked to him. They visited him. So we can get some of that done before we end the session. But that was sort of the major act, was dealing with Mr. Corbitt. Good use on the mirror, by the way. That one cost you some sanity and everything.
And good use of stealthing it as
Yeah.
opposed to just fighting all the stuff in the house.
Oh no, that thing would have just annihilated you in combat. That thing.
I don't know what the other thing was, but that would not have been good either.
Oh, I'll explain. Feeding it with the orange vine leaf was actually a good. Had an interesting side effect.
Was that the blue light?
Yes, that was the blue light. So. Yeah, actually, you can spend some time reading it. In his journal, he actually mentioned what the orange vine does.
Oh, yeah?
If you chew the leaf of it, your mind, you'll actually perceive another dimension. A dimension that is inhabited by strange beings who crave human flesh. And although,
little from beyond.
Little from beyond. And they will totally eat you if they see you. So, because it ate it, it perceived the other dimension, and it got into a fight with one of those beings.
Not good at not looking at things.
Yeah.
Did the thing that ate the poison thing then die from poison?
It died from poison and being ripped apart by another monster. So
Maybe
sort
another
of
dimension.
Yeah. So
It's a very effective way to die.
As it turns out, terrestrial poisons don't do much to extra-dimensional jellyfish.
the thing from another dimension was fine. It was
That just pre-digested it for it.
Yeah, basically.
That's the true purpose of the orange leaf.
So
It's a pre-digested enzyme.
Good job. I'll get. Let's see here.
Do we
you also
sanity back for destroying a...
I will. Everyone gets one sanity back for destroying.
And do we get any sanity or stability or whatever back for sending the thing to Eloise?
You get another. You get, I will say, 2 sanity for that. You don't gain any stability though because you didn't warn the cops to stay away. So.
Oh, yeah, that would have been.
Yeah.
Well, that's just their own damn fault. They just didn't stand back.
Did we go to the plantation for rest?
0 fucks given.
Fix our
you can make your rest once a chapter rest at the end of the session before the beginning of the next one. So.
And presumably we'll have 24... Well, I guess if we're going to contact anybody, we should do that.
Yeah.
I'll send a message to the Roger Corridan guy.
Yeah, Corridan. Mm-hmm. He is in Nairobi. You can visit him.
Okay.
He wants... What is your... you asked him about the Carlyle Expedition. Are you spending any investigative points? Abilities?
Yeah. I'm going to say that I am I don't know what I'm at. I'm going to use flattery. I've read about you. You're awesome. Tell me everything about yourself, especially about this one case.
Well, you're quite good at that. Flattering men in high positions.
Yes.
Core competency for tourism.
He gives you some inside information. Well, some of the Nandis who were punished for it were... there doubtlessly more escape punishment. We just had to make an example. We couldn't have an expedition wiped out like that and not have some people hung for it.
Naturally.
Mr. Jackson Elias recently visited me last year about this. Quite a romantic, very excitable fellow. Afraid I disappointed him. He had all these stories about cults and nonsense. The bearer corpses were preserved by the unseasonable cold in the region. That's why none of them were decayed or why they were untouched by the other animals. Perhaps we can find the remains of Carlyle. You see, but we only found the corpses of the bearers. We did not find any of the corpses of any of the Caucasian members of the expedition. Perhaps one day we will find them. Yes, the other people. Lieutenant Selkirk died in an accidental fire, and the others have moved on to other stations, nations, or continent. There is, though, let's see here, Sergeant, there's a Captain Montgomery and a Sergeant Leonard Bumption, who were also on scene. Yes. So
on scene as in, what do you mean?
They were there to investigate the massacre. They were part of the party that got the corpses and brought them back, and first on the scene.
Okay.
So you can track him down. Let's see here. So that's what you get from Roger Corridan. He gives you they are stationed in Nairobi, and he can actually arrange a meeting if you want to meet with him.
With Montgomery?
Montgomery or Sergeant Leonard Bumption. who is also there. They're the only two that are still left here.
Okay. Do you guys want to talk to them too?
Yeah.
All right.
Owen's feeling very investigating.
Indecision strikes.
After fighting a multi-armed monster.
Yeah.
Well,
bit-
after not fighting
Yeah.
a multi-armed
No, you
monster.
took it out. I mean, we could stop here and do the investigation next session before you guys leave.
We
for
send
the-
That might be
messages
okay.
instead of
Yeah,
meetings.
all right, we'll do that.
I mean,
Yeah.
tell you what, I'll track down Nails Nelson.
All right. He is. You find him at the Loyal Defender Pub.
Of course I do.
He is there. He is drinking.
Of course he is.
He wants. He does say, "Well, perhaps my memory work with more drink in me." You know how it is.
It's been, yeah.
Only we had the priest.
Yeah.
I buy him booze.
All right. You can just spend a point of preparedness to buy him a drink.
Okay.
Have booze.
Yeah.
Look what I bought.
I saw Jack Brass Brady there in Hong Kong. Tough man, good fighter. It was 1923. We were at the Yellow Lily Bar on Wanshing Street near Causeway Bay.
Causeway Bay.
Yeah. He. So he mentions that and says, and then you have to assess honesty, right? Mm-hmm. He talks about getting into a fight with where they fought off a dozen, Chinamen, and of course beat them all up. He's quite a braggart. But
what was the name of the tavern?
Yellow Lily.
Okay.
So you could look for him there. But he asks about your business here. Seeing as you're clearly a man of action.
Indeed.
Yes. Whatever trouble you have, there's a lot of strange things going around in the city lately. If there's any help, I'm always looking on the outlook for employment. Is there any business there that you need a reliable tracker and the soldier of fortune?
What do you guys think?
Do you want to hire him?
Shall we lead some random schmo into his doom?
Why not?
But he's a mercenary.
He is a mercenary.
Well,
And if he dies, we're probably
In the Call of
gonna
Cthulhu,
hold
just
the
to let
service.
you know, he does have act before thinking at 55% in Call of Cthulhu.
how's that even a thing?
That's actually a tradition in Call of Cthulhu, is to give random NPCs a terrible skill, or just random made-up skills like that.
Okay.
So,
I mean, he's sounding like a great backup PC for me. So,
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Bertram Nails Nelson. That would take a point of credit rating to hire him on.
okay. I have a point of credit rating.
All right. You can hire him on.
Actually, we do happen to have a thing going down. Sounds like you're going to deal.
He speaks Kikyu and Nandi. He knows the area like the back of his hand.
This might actually be handy.
Yeah.
Nandy.
It's another
So
tribal
come
language.
on
Yeah.
down.
All right, so we'll end there as you hire on Mr. Nelson. We can do the rest of the interviews and everything like that before you head off. And the next session
will be short.
will the expedition to the Mountain of the Black Wind. So I will use some of the rules from Miskatonic Expeditions for this. So,
That's the new thing, isn't it?
yes.
Neat.
So question, comments, discussions. How do you guys like this?
I like it.
I like not dying.
Yeah. Clever use of the mirror.
I like that we actually took down a monster without taking points, but the cultists nearly beat us bloody, even though we were.
Well, you were
It was
outnumbered
only
2
really
to 1.
bad
I
for
did
one
drop
of
like
us.
10 sanity points.
Yeah. Stability, not sanity.
It's a pretty horrible thing to see, especially right up close without it. Yeah, you got the HD view. I mean, it was pretty, and you also understood what it was. So, as you read the books, you actually find out the long and the short of it is that they were trying to create a son of the crawling chaos, of the small crawler, to help his entry of his father into the universe. But for some
Dunwich horror.
yes. However, this apparently. Mr. Corbitt was trying. This was done years ago, for a dozen years ago. But he, in his later entries, is saying Ryu says, "Oh, we will create a true son of the bloody tongue. That will yours is just a freak, a monstrosity, an abomination. It is not the true son. Ours shall be on the mountain at the ceremony soon." And so he was quite angry about that. He was wanting to somehow increase the power of his son. Because he kept confusing it for his own son, which it was So that's what you're looking forward to at the mountain. Apparently, they're trying to bring about a new son of the Nyarlathotep. So, yeah, that's something to look forward to. Anyways, we'll end here, and I'll see you guys next time.
That.